Okay, that was weird. Suddenly, the starting stuff started playing in my head twice. That's uncool. Hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. Sorry, we had a little bit of hiccups here. We have one thing. We'll wait for these shout outs to get through, and then we'll take care of this. Don't go anywhere. We're ready to have an entirely fantastic evening. Thank you for the lark, squirrel. Mm-mm-mm. All right, and then there we go. Miss Zenlin was here to hit the button first. She was here ahead of everybody, so get ready to do your worst, you fantastic little thing. Get up there and dance and show us how to get it done. That's right, this party's for you. You hit the button ahead of everybody else, which makes you our index. That's right, the very first. Only around here, we call you the 0th position. You lovely, lucky thing. You got here ahead of everybody else. You hit the button. You made the thing ring. We got this music. We're jumping around. We're shouting. I hope it's good and warm, because if it's not hot for you, well, then you should be getting some exercise in with this. Just suffering from the couch in the balcony open. See, there you go. Good warm day. Get that blood flowing. Get that moving and grooving. Let's go. Yeah, no, we love it. We're around here for it. This is what we do. And you guys are just in time for what is going to be an epic another edition of Talk Tuesday. That's right. And tonight, we're going to start this off right. Thank you, Zenlin. Absolutely out of sight. So I hope you guys are ready. There's a. Oh yeah. nothing like getting your own shout out for your own Talk Tuesday. That's right. Tonight's special guest. Tonight's special guest is a gorgeous, lovely little thing that enjoys a good fright and absolutely a good fight. Ghosts and ghouls don't bother her or her army at all, from manic mannequins to lost changing rooms to piggies in tunnels. This leader of the army is always sharply dressed to impress and setting the trend for all of her follower friends. Better grab your best tuxes and get ready for tonight's absolutely amazing and fantastic special guest. We're talking about the one and only, you got it, Miss Drinkabell. All right. Welcome to Talk Tuesday, Miss Drinkabell. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you. Are you?
we got people coming in talking, saying highs. We got questions already lined up. Looks like Eldronis is already ready to pick your.
I'm loving Al's questions.
Yeah, you know, you can ignore the questions. I got them captured. We'll make certain that they all get answered in timely fashions. But, you know, you're here and I get your undivided attention. So I will take absolute every moment of advantage I possibly can. Because why not, right? Why not?
Exactly.
All right. Oh, I'm like, why is all of this? Because I forgot to turn that stuff off. That would be why. There. Well, at least last bit. Have a good night, Weeb. That's just.
You've got to love all the technical difficulties, haven't you?
I have it like every other Talk Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, that's just going to be a thing. All right, there we go. This is not the first time that I forgot to turn those things off, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to add that to the little thing that goes through and turns off everything and just make certain it deactivates those, and I keep forgetting to do it. Sticky note on side of the monitor. All right, turn that stuff off.
I usually get Al to DM me of things I need to remember because I know I won't. So Al just drops you a message and I'll leave it unread until I've done it.
Oh, that's a fantastic way to do that. Hey, Al, send me a message.
It works. I'm telling you, it works.
All right. So as we were talking earlier, right? So the rules of the road here is there's points in the channel. People will come in, they will hit the buttons, they will ask their questions. I will in turn relay those questions. If you guys start asking again about credit card numbers, I'm going to tell you it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like my suitcase combo, which I think I changed that. But I'm sorry, if you can't make it work with that, you're out of luck. Find a different question to ask. It does occasionally come up. Zoder likes to ask it an awful lot.
If only I had money for them to steal, eh?
But yeah, well, so you'll get questions from chat, you'll get questions from me, and we'll just sit around and have a lovely conversations for the next 3 hours. So I hope you're ready for this. And if at any point in time you don't want to answer the question, you are welcome to decline to respond, and we will move on. Ladies and gentlemen, and Ms. Drinkabell, welcome to Talk Tuesday. She is lovely on the screen. Yes, everybody get excited. So as Ed is typical around here on Talk Tuesdays, we do a puzzle. Exclamation puzzle in the chat will get you a link to the puzzle. If you want to join us in the puzzle, you're welcome to. If you need something to focus on while you're just sitting around here, sometimes just talking for 3 hours can get a little boring. If you're watching adult content over there, don't tell us about it. We don't want to get jealous.
I'm not very good at puzzles, but I will make an attempt.
That's all we ever do is make an attempt. At some point during this, there's a couple of people, regulars, that will show up. And then they will just power right through the puzzle. It doesn't matter what puzzle I put out there. They just kind of power right through it. I consider myself doing really well if I get the edge pieces done. Like I can go around the square. It's done. Hey, I'm happy. I'm done. I don't need to do any more.
People who don't start with the edge pieces they're wrong. They're wrong.
It's about the only part of the puzzle I can actually do. But so we have a couple of traditions around here as we're doing our puzzles, and we'll go ahead and get started with a couple of those. The first one is that the first 2 questions off the bat we ask you are, number 1, why'd you get started streaming? Like, what was the impetus that kicked off the Bell Army and the streaming services?
My husband, Baker, who is in chat, he started streaming and then he quit. And I was like, hey, why don't I give it a go? And I did. That's, pretty much how I started.
Right. So he gave up and you took it up then, is that?
Yeah. He's
Nice.
he comes on, he plays on my stream and in chat and stuff, but he hasn't streamed for ages, and I just thought, hey, why don't I try it? And I did, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's been just over 2 years now.
Just over 2 years. Wow.
I'm
So
just going to
then
go
you've
ahead and
been-
answer Baker's question of do I want a cup of tea and go with yes, please, babe.
We'll let that one slide through. It's fine. It's fine. Well, see, Baker can cheat when it comes to these questions because he's there in the room. So he could just pop in there and be like, answer this question.
He is literally an arm reach away.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a couple of your streams. You know what you need?
Did
You
see
need
the
a
one where he threw a
redeem
snowball
to.
at me?
I was going to say, why don't you have a redeem to throw like a wiffle ball or something at Baker? Ping Baker.
Because the dog would eat it. I had a therapy ball. I hurt my hand a couple of years ago and I had a therapy ball to squeeze because I tore the ligament that holds my thumb in its socket.
Mhm.
And the look on the dog's face when I told her she couldn't have that ball, it was one of pure heartbreak. She's
Oh
just there,
no!
proper big eyes going,
But Mom,
but it's round and it's squishy. It should be mine.
oh, we have quite the collection of dog and cat lovers. I think, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know of any Twitch community that doesn't have a collection of dog and cat lovers. Like, that is just a regular thing. Almost every Discord community that I've been signed up for, there's pictures of animal friends.
We've got a dog and a cat, but most people they sound surprised when I say, oh, the cat's just opened the door. And they're like, you've got a cat? It's like, yeah, she just doesn't like the dog. And the dog's normally in here, so I don't know where she is. She's currently sat under Baker's desk, probably farting into his PC fans as she normally does.
Oh, there you go. We call that nitrous oxide. She's speeding up Baker's computer.
If the RGBs in his case weren't green before, they are now.
Exactly, right? Well, that's it. That's okay. That's actually, I think, one of the shorter responses to that particular question we've had so far. But I mean, I started up streaming to help get Shale going. So, taking the torch from Baker seems appropriate. So yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. That was actually a shorter answer than I was expecting. That's okay. Those happen. We get short answers. We get long answers. What are you, 4 foot, 5 foot?
Hey! I'm over 5 foot, just.
Yeah, just.
I think I'm 5'4".
Oh, that's not bad. I can't say too much. I'm not much taller.
Baker's 6'4". It's like, hey.
Okay, resist first obvious question. Moving on.
Honestly, ask away. No questions are barred. I shouldn't have said that.
I was going to say, how many steps do you have to take to get up there to look eye to eye?
I have a little fold away step ladder that I just take with me. Yeah. Whenever I want to give me a kiss, I just get my little step ladder out.
Munchkin land, right?
Yeah.
Well, that explains the penguins, anyways.
Because they're the same height as me.
Yeah. I think maybe. I don't know. Emperor penguins, I think, are a little bit bigger, but I don't.
Wow.
Well, generally, I think this is. I wanted to say this is the first real conversation we had, but no, that's not true because I think I've popped in on you and Baker at least once before.
Yeah, definitely.
At least one time.
It's not been a regular sort of thing.
No,
but,
it's not a regular sort of thing. I need to. So much don't have enough time for everything.
I was about to
But isn't
say
that
it's
the
just
way?
time, innit?
Yeah. Can confirm she tiny. Okay. So do you know Aldronus in real life?
Yes, we've met up twice.
Okay. Now, have you taken him out at the kneecaps in order to make certain that he is the same size as you?
Not yet, but I might try it next time we see him. I'll get the penguin army out with their baseball bats.
There you go. There you go. So where does the name Drinkerbell come from? Like, what settled you in on that particular name?
When I was younger, probably about 19, I went to a fancy dress party dressed as Tinkerbell. And I used to drink quite a lot. And I broke the record for most Jaeger bombs drank in a row in the nightclub we were in and became Drinkerbell.
I see.
Instead of Tinkerbell, it was just Drinkerbell for the rest of the night.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now I'm just stuck with this image of Tinkerbell just absolutely just sloshed all over. Think happy thoughts.
I had like quite big fairy wings on, and literally, I think they lasted about an hour, and then I was like, "No, I can't deal with this," and just ripped them off in the end. So I was a fairy without wings. You shouldn't drink and fly, people.
Your night's not going to end the way you think it will.
Well, the problem was my flat was above the nightclub.
Oh.
So it was quite easy at the time. We'd just pop down, like, oh, I fancy some Jaeger bombs. All right, let's just pop down to the club, £1 Jaeger bombs, have a few of them, head back up to the flat, play some Call of Duty or something. Do you want another Jaeger bomb? Yeah, all right, then let's go downstairs.
Yeah, that just makes it easy. That's a good way just to spend money. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Absolutely a way just to get rid of money. Look, you won't believe what's just downstairs. Oh, yeah, that's one of those things you're like, I don't want to know. It was a good time. We're just going to leave it at that. It was a good time. Don't ask any more questions.
It was well spent.
So
here comes my cup of tea.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Thank you, babe.
He's a good egg.
Yeah. Well, near as I've been able to tell, I've had one conversation with him, but I'm already, a big fan. So there you go.
Me too.
He needs to come back to streaming. Then we can harass him proper like.
I don't know that he will, to be honest. Not anytime soon.
Nah, it's all good. I'd love to buy some chatbots. We love some chatbots around here. It's fine. It's just fine. All right. On to so basically your name you were dressed up as Tinkerbell and then just drink everybody under the table, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Point of pride for you or just a matter of fact?
Yeah, no, I'd take pride. I couldn't do it anymore, but
Well, I don't know that I could do that anymore myself.
And it's a fun story as well,
It is a fun story. Aren't those the best ones? Are fun stories, right?
Exactly.
We were out doing something stupid with our friends, and we had a really good time, and so this is what resulted of it. I think that's where a lot of memes come from, anyways.
True.
People doing stupid stuff together with stupid. It ends poorly.
One thing that always used to wind me up on a night out was one of my friends. He'd always do what he'd call a tactical chunder, which is where he'd drink so much that he'd have to throw up, and then he'd carry on drinking, and he'd just be like, no, it was tactical. I did it on purpose. It's like, no. There was nothing tactical about that. It's all over the floor.
I have never heard that word before. That is a fantastic word. I have to remember that one.
What, chunder?
Yes. Well, I love the wordplay on chunder, and then just a tactical chunder. You know, we just call it a intentional vomit. But I mean, yours is so much better. It's so much more fun to say. That's it. I'm stealing that one. It is. It's a bit more posh, I think. I don't know if that's the right way to say that or not. It's interesting, the conversations I have had with people in the UK, yourself included. In fact, some of the phrasings that I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this word, and I will use it. And then I get told, no, you can't say that. It doesn't mean what you think it is. I'm like, oh, huh. Okay. Let's see if I can remember an example, because it probably helps understand. BAP, BAP, BAP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's a northerner. Her words are.
Can't talk. He's from London. He's yeah. You can't understand a word he says. I tells you.
Well, you know, I'm from over here in the U.S. I grew up as up and down the East Coast, so I've talked to Northerners and Southerners, and I've talked to a lot of different people, a lot of different accents, learned a lot of different words, and even through all of those, I still don't talk English very well.
I don't English good either. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's lovely. It's a good time, right? Let's see. Where are we at? So 2 years, you say you've been doing this.
Yep.
How did you and Peebs and Resi and them, like, is that just, real life friends? You just known them when you were doing this, or did you get introduced to them somehow? Like, where did that relationship spawn from?
It was just a random raid. One day I raided Peebs. I think it was after a game of Phasmo back because when I started, I was mainly playing Phasmo. Mm-hmm. And Peebs and Rez did quite a bit of Phasmo as well. And I think it was just a random raid. Went over to say hi and decided we'd keep him for a bit, So then obviously that's how we met Rez, because it's Rez and Peebs. Can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I was like, that's a dynamic duo there. If we ever get them settled in to bring them on for a talk Tuesday, I figured I'm just going to have to do them both at the same time to start, and then drag them off to their separate corners.
That sounds.
It sounds like it would work, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe. Now you do tend to, you have a lot of co-stars that jump in there and play a lot with you too. Like any memorable moments you have with anyone in specific, or?
I think everyone that comes and plays on stream or even just in chat, there's so many moments that I couldn't possibly name them all. But one of the ones that started off, I have exclamation mark commands for people that say weird shit on stream. And the thing that started that off was Apple, Weird Apparition, playing Phasmo. And she was running away from a ghost, just going, and that started that off. So that's one of my, that started a lot for my stream. That started the whole sound command thing. And now Apple's got about 48 different sounds on her commands.
I know she's got a myriad of different sounds, but that particular sound effect that you just did there, I've heard you do that so much, and I was like, where does that come from? Is that just something she does naturally? Did she pick that up from that? So it comes from Apple. I see. Yeah. We can blame Apple for that one. Do we blame Apple for a lot of the sounds that you make, or is it she just has like a few key ones that are hers?
I blame Apple for everything.
It's your fault, Apple. The Apple noise machine.
She is. She makes some great noises.
The entire lot of you guys make some great noises. I have a number of your own clips in some of my commands that are there because they're just so much fun.
I like to take clips of things that people say and take it out of context and just turn it into one of their sounds. It's just
right. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a mandatory thing.
Like one of my favorite recent ones is Pegawang saying, "Pegawang's dead. That's fine."
I'm dead. It's fine. Don't worry about me. Go on.
It's become a bit of a meme over on my channel. Pegawang's dead. That's fine.
Like it's a normal thing. Like, oh, who died? Pegawang. Oh, that's fine.
Pretty much.
Hey, just move on.
It's
all right.
Oh well, no loss.
No real big loss, anyways. That's fine. What's that? The 14th time in the last hour, Pegawang? Jeez, going for a record. That is fantastic. So, oh, there. Hi, Katie. Welcome in. Thank you for popping in. Always happy to have you. What in the world happened there? I don't. Okay, we're gonna find out. No. I got a weird. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, it's fine. It's the way it. Somebody put something. Put a quote in there, and in my infinite wisdom, when I programmed the little question bot, I did not program him to anticipate the fact that people were going to put special characters in there. As such, it put special characters in and broke the question up on 3 lines, and I'm like, what is going on here? Oh, you're fine, Eldronis. I'll go update the question bot. We'll fix it up. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? No, I don't think escaping them is going to help anything, Eldronis. I think it's just a function of the way the API renders the information back to me. It's fine. I'll fix it up because that's probably coming back in ASCII not ASCII character. It's coming back in it'll be a web format, and so it's just not deciphered correctly. That's all. It's fine. So Eldronis asks, what is your favorite flightless bird and why is it a penguin?
I've just always liked penguins, but I think something that sort of really stood out to me to like penguins was my ex was terrified of penguins.
Wait. Hold on. Back that train up a second. We've got to unpack this one. How are you afraid of a bird that barely comes up to your knees?
He swears down that he went to a zoo and they were doing like the penguin walk around the zoo, and he swears down that a penguin that had glowing red eyes veered off from the pack and chased him across the zoo. That's his version of the story. I wasn't there to verify, but that's his version of the story. So naturally, upon my mum finding this out, she bought his son a penguin onesie.
Oh yeah. I'd have been right there with him. Don't forget, he needs the penguin teddy bear. He needs the penguin jumper. He's got to have penguins on his. Like, we're gonna decorate this kid's bedroom out in penguins. Dad will never stick his head in.
Yeah. So then after that, penguins just sort of stuck.
Just become like a regular mascot for you then?
Yeah. I even have a tattoo of one. Hang on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen it. I was, to be honest, the first time I saw it, my this is the geek side of me coming out now. I saw that, I'm like, oh look, she's a Linux user. She likes Tux.
Unfortunately, no.
That's
Sorry
what
to
I thought you
disappoint.
put. Yeah, it's fine. I gathered as much shortly before I said anything stupid and embarrassed myself about it. Based on everything else, I'm like, oh no, she just likes penguins. It's fine.
Yeah, I just like penguins.
It's like, oh yes, a Linux user. She's even a big fan of the penguin. Yeah.
I
Good
can.
job, Baker. You scored well.
I can. You know, we were talking about my board behind me before we went live.
Yep.
I can put any picture I want on it, and if my phone cooperates, it's because it's not connected to the internet. My penguin wiggle emote I recently added to it. You know, my little penguin
nice.
wiggly bum.
Yes.
If my phone decides to connect, there it is. Da-da-da. There you go.
I had to widen the screen up so that people could catch it while it was going on. That's
Isn't it
fantastic.
cute?
That is adorable. That's what everybody needs is a wiggly bum. Hurry up and get over there and subscribe. You're missing out on the penguin wiggly bum. That's a glorious emote.
It is. It's so good.
Do you do all your own emotes, or do you have somebody help you out with those?
Baker paid for Apple to do me my wave penguin, the sus penguin eyes, my raid emote, and the Phasmo running emote for my birthday a couple of years ago, not long after I'd been streaming, about half a year after I'd been streaming. The rest of them I got off of Etsy.
Oh.
And just made them, either got the person that made them to do me a custom one like that one. I had to get them to do it in the purple because for some reason not many people have purple penguins. Who knew?
The shame. The audacity of it all.
So yeah, the animated ones I had to get custom done. But the static ones I just bought and then recolored them to match my my penguins. He's called Newt, by the way.
Newt. That would explain the Newt.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so that wave one that Al's put in chat, that's one that Apple did.
That's fantastic. Purple, I take it, is your favorite color?
Blue, actually.
Blue. So why purple penguins then?
I don't know. Baker chose it. I think a purple penguin would look better than a blue penguin anyway, to be honest. Baker's going to tell me why it's purple.
Going on the Phasmo glow stick stuff, really good.
Oh, it's because it was designed with the Phasmo glow stick in mind. So the Phasmo glow stick, you know, it yeah.
Yep, it puts out that purple color. That makes sense. I mean, it's a good logical sense. It fits well. Ladies and gentlemen, Baker,
I looked away for a second and half this puzzle's been finished.
No, just the outline has been done. All right.
I think I've done like 3 pieces.
Yo, Com, welcome in. Com was your predecessor last week, so there you go. Well, let's see. Where'd it go? Come back here. Aldranas would also like to know, where did the fear of mannequins come from? If you tell me it's from playing that stupid that game you were playing, I'm gonna laugh.
I play lots of stupid mannequin games because my community like to torture me. But I think the first time I can remember being scared of mannequins was in a nuclear bunker that's been turned into a museum. We actually visited it this Saturday with my nieces. Yeah. But there's a medical room in there.
Right.
And there's a mannequin like lay on the floor. Not on the floor, on a bed. And a nurse mannequin next to it, and it's like the person's the mannequin's supposedly been caught by radiation, and there's a speaker in there of this patient groaning and in pain and whatever. And that's the first
Oh,
time I
that's
remember
just
just seeing a mannequin and being like, nope. And that was when I was probably about 6, maybe.
that's fair.
And yeah, my dad made me go in there and wouldn't let me leave. So,
Oof.
but I'm blaming that for my mannequin fear.
There you go. That's fair. That is totally fair.
My nieces on Saturday though, they didn't care. They went straight in. I didn't realize it was that room at first, so I went in, saw it, heard it, and just noped straight out of there and made Baker stay in there with my nieces. Like, they weren't phased at all. Stronger than I.
It's always interesting, right? How resilient that the kids nowadays are. They definitely have. Yeah, there are things that my own son would just dash on headlong into, and I'd be like, no, no. Mm-mm. All right, that's all you. I'm out. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, there's
don't
not many
die.
things I'm scared of. I think it's just mannequins and small spaces.
I won't do roller coaster rides.
Really? I love roller coaster rides.
Yeah. Nope, I won't do roller coaster rides, mostly because so I did almost 10 years as a paramedic. And in the city that I did that, we had they had these town parties, I guess. I don't know that. I'm trying to remember what the name they called those things, and my brain's
Like
just
a
left me at this
carnival?
point. It basically, it's not really a carnival. It was something. It was a town party. It's a perfunctory thing. But anyways, yes, and they have rides on those. And one year we had they brought in roller coaster rides for it, and we had a derailment on one of those rides, and I had to pick up the pieces.
Lovely.
I
I
have
can see why you don't like them.
I have a healthy respect for high speed moving. I'm like, no, yeah, that's okay. So I stay far away from those things.
That's
But
perfectly understandable.
that's me. My son, however, loves them. Take him to the park, and he's like, yes, let's go. We're gonna go hit this one. I'm like, okay, have fun with that.
We live near a theme park about 40 minutes away, and Baker and I went for the day once, and Baker was fine on all the rides and everything, and then had a panic attack on the monorail back to the car park.
It's fine when it's moving fast. Just stopping. It's that sudden stop. Yeah. Well, in some cases, it's that sudden drop too. Oof. Tilt-a-whirls are always such a fun one.
I
Do
always
you
loved
guys
the
have?
waltzes.
I say, did you guys have? You guys don't have tilt-a-whirls. Probably not. You guys tend to have a little bit more sensible things over there. You want something stupid? You come over here to the U.S. and we're like, you want to do what? Oh, sling yourself around by your toes by 500 miles an hour? Sure thing. Hold still.
Yeah, we're not quite that crazy over here.
Just like, why is that a good idea? No.
If it's a bad idea, you can probably do it in America.
Oh no, most definitely can do it in America. There's nothing probable about it. It's a most definite. Like, they'll let you do whatever stupid idea comes to your head. And then after you've done it and horribly maimed, mutilated, and hurt yourself, to let you sue whoever let you get away with doing it so that you can make some money off of that. And then they'll write a law to say that nobody else should do that. So it's just like, that seems a little backwards.
Maybe just a tad, yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't let people do whatever they want to just to hurt themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, but then people would complain that it was encroaching on their freedom.
Probably. I would say that let Darwin have his way.
Yeah.
I
It's like when they have
love
to
a
put on
good.
bags of peanuts, like may contain nuts.
Oh, the Pop Tarts. I don't know. Do you? I don't know if you guys have Pop Tarts over there or
We
not.
have, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at the back of the box? Right. It says in the instructions. It says, "Do not eat the packaging. It is not edible. Remove contents from packaging, and after cooking, the pastry will be hot."
I've noticed the hot warning before. I'm not sure I've ever noticed the packaging.
Oh yeah, it's on right along with the other one I love, our hair dryers. That say don't use this in the bathtub. Like this is the sheer. I'm trying to figure out who is blow drying your hair while taking a shower or a bath. Anyways, like how does that make sense? You're in somewhere that's
Slightly
going to get you
counterintuitive.
wet.
Yeah.
It's a bath bomb. It's shocking, is what it is.
I mean, it could be.
Already answered that question. Miss Resilient Gamer would like to know, what do you see in your future? What do you see your future in streaming looking like?
Honestly, I just enjoy it how it is now. Personally, I don't think I'd want to be, like a massive streamer with thousands of people. You can't even read chat because it goes by so quick, So my future in streaming, I see just, a decent sized community of people that get along, have a laugh. I wouldn't want it to go crazy or anything like that. So I'm quite happy sticking with my sort of genre of games and general stupidity with the people that enjoy watching it.
Oh, we have such a fun time too. It's such a grand time. So no real big aspirations of being like, to coin the phrase, YouTube famous or Twitch famous or anything like that.
I mean, the chances of it happening, is just, it's so slim. I'm happy how I am. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not aiming for it or anything like that,
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to sit there grinding going, oh, if I don't go live today, I'm never going to be Twitch famous, or,
Oh God, no.
Like,
I don't.
I need to do this editing, otherwise, I'll never be Twitch famous. Or
I don't know anybody that spends that much time in a panic over. I don't edit anything.
No, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then you're doing it wrong, aren't you? Really, like.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's. But you've nailed that one right on the money, right? If you're not having fun with it, why are you even doing it?
It's like I used to do a monthly marbles tournament, and it got to the point where I wasn't enjoying the stream. I was dreading doing the tournament, and I just said, right, this is it. I've had enough now.
Yep.
Like, yeah, people enjoyed it, but I wasn't. And then that made me not feel entertaining, or, so you've got to enjoy yourself first and foremost.
Yes. And that's that. You are exactly spot on with that one, right? You got to enjoy what you're doing, mostly because people are there to be entertained by you, and that takes a lot of creative effort, right? You got to come up with ideas, and then we spend an awful lot of time just rambling to ourselves,
even when not live.
Yeah, especially when not live. I talk to myself. Do you talk to yourself like all the time when you're not live now? Do you find that you just got into this habit of you just need a general patter of noise going on behind your head or in your head?
Usually, like if I'm sat at home, not so much. If I'm at work and I'm working on doing something like on a database or something that I'm having to think about, I tend to mutter out loud a bit then. But I work in the same office as my mum, and she does the same thing. So we'll both just be sat there muttering these random things, and then we'll just go, what? Sorry, I wasn't listening. It's like, no, it's fine. I wasn't talking to you. But then when we are talking to each other, we just nod and agree and go, yeah. And then we're like, nope, sorry, I wasn't listening. Say that again.
No, yeah. What? Huh? No, didn't catch that last time. Try again on repeat. No, I talk to myself all the time. Now, my favorite answer to that question usually is when people are like, do you always talk to yourself? I'm like, yeah, it's the only way I get an intelligent conversation.
I said
And then
that
you
to
just
my
walk
boss
off.
the other day. He was muttering to himself as I walked into his office. And I said to him, see, at least if you talk to yourself, you know, you won't get any back chat. On this puzzle, I'm just bringing you all the pieces that look like buildings, by the way.
It's that I'm like, who keeps putting all these pieces? I'm like, what is this? I'm just over here off in my own little world. I'm like, oh look, this is a building piece. That building piece goes, what is going on here?
It's my
Tag teaming it.
contribution. I saw you were doing a building, and I was like, right, let's go.
I just grabbed these. Well, these pieces were all just kind of like sitting right here, and I'm like, oh look, these two pieces connect. Oh look, these two pieces connect. Oh look, these two pieces. And before I know it, I'm like, next thing I'm like, oh look, there's more pieces that connect. Where are these pieces coming from? They weren't here 30 seconds ago. It was so confused for a second. I'm like, huh? What?
I should have not said anything and seen how long till you noticed.
Honestly, with as much as we do these puzzles over here, so this was actually, the puzzles was a suggestion by one of the interviewees. He's like, you know, originally I had a little light game that I was doing here that we put up on screen to give people something visually to watch other than the guest speaker and everything else. You know, just something for your eyes to track when you're not really certain where to look all the time. And so the game helps it to try to give that sort of attention. He's like, you know, what would be fun is to do a puzzle. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, no, like this. And so he turned me on to this website that just allows anybody to dive into the puzzle and do the puzzle. And he goes, and then, you know, you just put the link out there and just let people jump in and do the puzzle. And, we pivoted real quick from me just faffing about. I was like, what is a word? Faffing about in a little light puzzle that was absolutely going nowhere, and fast. To now we've got these puzzles that we keep doing over here.
I had to clear myself some more building piece room. You weren't building them quick enough.
What are you saying? I'm slacking off as the construction worker? Get back to work.
Hey, the delivery was on time.
Faffing about. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Caddy has come in to ask you. So one of our regulars, Caddy Snowden, Cat Ty Student, as we like to refer to her, has come in and asked who in the community has inspired you when it comes to streaming.
I think I take things from, I watch a lot of streamers, so I don't think there's anyone in particular that sort of inspires me. Viking Robs was one of the first streamers I ever watched on Twitch to begin with. And it's also where I met Apple. So, there's a lot of gratitude towards Robs. And then other things like Firebot, the bot that runs everything on my stream, came from you. You recommended it.
Oh yeah, it's all just good
little pieces, just streamers working together to help each other build something. You know?
Yeah, which is, I think I honestly think it's kind of cool what can be done when enough of us get together and just kind of chat and laugh and giggle and have a good time. Like some of my favorite memories here on Twitch has to be like playing golf with friends. And you play that game just as regularly as we do around here. I've got, I'm embarrassed to say, close to 500-600 hours in that stupid game.
I don't think I have that many hours in it.
You don't? No. You got to have
I
at
don't
least
think
that
it's that
much.
high. I've only got 200 hours. I'm slacking.
You are slacking. Time to step it up. Let's go golf.
Because people keep making me play these bloody mannequin games.
Oi. The mannequins don't bother me as much. Now, do you normally do fright games? Is that like a thing you enjoy doing, or is it just because people keep twisting your arms to go play some fright games? I know you did. You've done some Fall Guys on your channel on occasion, as well as a few other games. But it does seem to be that your normal content tends toward the horror genre.
Yeah, generally I like horror games. I don't like sort of shooting horror games. I'm a bit of a panic shooter with a terrible aim. So those I'm not so good at. I tried Resident Evil once and I rage quit, honestly. I rage quit. On stream. And there was another one I made Baker do part of it for me. I can't remember what it was. Was it was it the Devil Within? Or yeah, there was something Evil Within, that was it, Evil Within. And I died about 20 times to this boss, and I was like, Baker, can't bloody do it. Come here. He did it like second try. I was like, thank you. You could just see his hands on the corner of my camera with the controller. It was the flames. They just honestly, it was.
That's
fantastic. I was there for that. I was getting so mad. But yeah, so generally I do love horror games, but not horror shooter games. But I do enjoy the stupid games like Fall Guys and Oh Dear and even like
I saw you guys playing Oh Dear, and we actually had that one on the list of. Okay, so around here on this channel, Oh Dear is a command that you can put in, exclamation Oh Dear. And it is a replay of Swifty Squirrel on her stream, where she comes back in. We were playing Valheim. We were doing a modded Valheim play, and she comes back in and she's surrounded by these zombie deer head trophies, and they're all just making noises and whipping their heads around it. So we saw that one and we're like, oh, that is definitely one we have to get in here and try to play. If for nothing more than just because of that meme moment, which was pretty funny. I did notice that you guys were playing and having a good time at that. So was it all cracked up to be?
It's a very silly game.
Okay. Silly games are the best.
They are. It's just
I will
like when you jump, like your deer farts, and it's just it's funny every time. It's not a subtle fart either. It's a proper rippler.
It's a proper break winder, huh?
Yeah.
Oy. That is fantastic.
I do love a good jump scare game. That's my main thing. I love jump scare games.
Yeah, see, jump scares are the only horror games that will actually get me to yell. Like I played Phasmo, and who was I was playing with? I was playing with Brother Fjord and Wars HQ, I think, at the time. And they're like, "Oh, you're going to be terrified. You're going to be terrified. You're going to be terrified." And I sat around laughing like a maniac because like there was no ever any jump scare. Like I knew when I was going to die because here he came, and I'm like, "Yep, he's going to kill me. Watch this, dead." Like absolutely no terror. I'm like, there's nothing scary about this.
Yeah, I've had the added thing of having like Dixper and Tangier, where the viewers can put jump scares on my screen. So not only do I have the jump scares of the game, I also have chat.
Oh, I know.
Which is, yeah. Rez managed to scare me with a fart noise once.
Well, to be fair, you know.
I was playing a mannequin game at the time and was slightly on edge, and then Rez just made a fart noise, and that was it. I screamed like a little girl.
Bravo, Rez, bravo. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, apparently Peeps can't be here, so Aldronis is passing along his message for him. I can't believe you're going to actually make me read this, Aldronis. So, Peeves asks, if Bill was traveling at 69 miles per hour for 420 miles and Gary was traveling in the opposite direction at 42 miles per hour, how many pickles could Karen fit up her bum?
69.
Just like, yeah, we're gonna read this one. Okay, always 69. Like that question even needed to be asked anymore. Duh, we've already ascertained the answer. Unbelievable.
That was the easiest question so far. I thought it was common knowledge.
Apparently not. Apparently Peeves needs some more education. Which is just, it's fun. It's fun. It's fine. I'm like I ran into you off in the tail end of either a Resilient Gamer or a Pirate Boy Peebs raid. Like that's how I discovered you. I left myself silly that first night too, and then just kind of sat around and I tormented you ever since.
I was gonna say, and then you never left.
Never left. You just kind of stuck with me. That being said, it's been an absolute blast. So 2 years you've been going at this with no aspirations of anything larger per se. Do you have anything like slated on plan for like this year? Any kind of like big projects you were thinking about doing?
Not particularly, because we just had my 2-year anniversary stream a couple of months ago. And I mean, last year it was my 30th birthday stream. So this year, for the rest of this year, I don't know. I haven't really got anything particularly special planned. I usually do a fancy dress for my birthday and for Halloween, where chat gets to decide what costume I wear. Whether I continue that this year or not, I'm not 100% decided yet, but
right.
I've dressed as a frog, a poop emoji, an aubergine, and a devil. That was the first one, was a devil.
Devil, I don't see.
I stream once.
I saw the wedding dress stream.
That was fun.
I did see that one.
Fitting that behind my desk. I had a Give Us a Twirl channel point redeem as well, so I had to keep getting out from behind my desk and doing a twirl and then trying to fit back in again and like folding my dress over and
yeah. I was there for that. I laughed at that. I'm like, oh, I never could bring myself to hit that button because it just seemed like such a pain in the neck to get up, go through those motions and then get back down again. I'm like, that's just mean.
Not as bad as I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been my 1-year anniversary stream where I let chat redeem glow sticks and I let them decide where the glow sticks went. So I ended up like handcuffed with glow sticks that went to my microphone, to my chair, and like I was trying to drink and there's a clip somewhere of me just like, I can't find me now. Because chat are always so kind, aren't they?
Oh, chat's always the best. Chat is the best. They helped to produce some real like memorable moments. Like, oh, never mind. They helped to produce some really fantastic moments that you end up running into, and you're like, okay, that wouldn't have been there otherwise without their help. Like, getting scared by a fart from Resilient Gamer.
It's got to be one of my all-time favorite jump scares. Is that far?
Glow sticks was hilarious. Glow sticks were fabulous. I was there for the glow sticks. It's been 2 years. I think you've been streaming for about as long as I have.
Yeah, I think we all sort of started around the same time, like Peebs, Rez, you, me, a few other people that I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah. Oh, Vibes,
I just recently found out that Vibes was streaming. I didn't even realize he was streaming. Like nobody bothered to say anything. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, he did take a break for about a year.
What's on sabbatical? That's, but it is what it is, right? Some people take time out. We haven't seen Peeps come back. He went off to go see. Her name will come to me.
Lysol.
Thank you. I don't think he streamed since he's gotten back, or maybe he's streamed like once. I think maybe once, but he hasn't been. I haven't seen him stream since then.
We
like he showed up in a Lysol stream and then
come back.
We need the that's right, those them shorts, man. Gotta wear them shorts. What is the worst thing that chat has had you do on stream? Or I say chat has had you, that you've let chat have you do.
I once drank milk mixed with gin because chat said try it, so I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, like there's nothing that says that's ever going to be a good idea.
To be fair, going down, it was all right. It was the aftertaste that did it.
Oh, yeah, no. That's already curdling in my belly, and it didn't even make it there.
or I really, really hate Brussels sprouts. Like, detest them. I will heave. I hate Brussels sprouts. Chat have made me a fair few sprouts over the time.
I do remember the dish of sprouts.
It's never pleasant. I also ate a extra spicy giant pickle. I think it's when I hit 500 followers. They had a choice between making me a sour pickle or a spicy one, and they picked the spicy one.
Well, of course your chat's going to pick spicy. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Millie does love sprouts, Al. At the beginning of one of the streams where I had sprouts, I accidentally threw the plate on the floor, and the dog ate half of them. So.
Oh, nice. I'd count that as a win. Wait, oh, look, darn, all the sprouts have been eaten. Here, Millie, here's a few more. I had to figure out how to get more of them to the dog.
She likes carrots as well. If you give her a whole carrot, she'll sit with it in between her front paws and just chew and eat the carrot like a
that's
rabbit.
Fantastic. Now, have you ever tried doing like animal clips or anything?
Not really. Like, I've got a couple of clips of where I've got one where Millie leapt on my lap mid Phasmo game, and she just proper looks at the camera. And I've got a couple of the cat, where she leapt up the back of my chair. I was playing DBD, I think, and she leapt up the back of my chair and just came and sat on my shoulder, and I was like, just don't crawl down my back, don't crawl on my back.
I haven't seen that clip.
Yeah. It's not.
I've seen the cat clip where it jumped up on the back. I've seen that one. I have not seen the dog one.
Oh, the dog one's quite an old one.
That would explain it. I thought I've been through all your, like, I seriously, I got onto this kick about, I want, copies of some of these funny moments, these great moments in streaming history. I was actually planning on build a command that would do great moments in streaming history and then just play a random stream, but I was going to just point it at the streamers, just let it pick from a random person that's in a list and be like, here, go grab a clip off and there's great moments in streaming history, and then do a little blurb up on the page and everything. And that turned out to be more trouble than it was worth with Firebot. So I started copying them all down because people were deleting their really good clips. I'm like, no, why?
I do that to Vibes. He deletes his clips every now and then, so if he's got a good one, I download it quick.
Yeah, you almost have to go in there, grab it really quick in a hurry, and just kind of eats up hard drive space. I'm like, well, it's for the cause. It's for the cause.
Vibes was playing Crash Bandicoot one day, and I can't remember why, but he was jumping along, and he was going like, the pig goes oink, the cow goes moo, Crash goes splat as he died. So now I've got exclamation mark splat.
Now, have you had anybody get upset at you for catching those moments and storing those for posterity?
Not yet, but I always say to everyone, if there's someone new around, first time on stream, I always say, if you don't want sound clips, that's fine. I'll never, if anything's on there that you don't want on there, then it's fine. And it's like I added some the other week for Van, who's been around for a long time, but he's never really played on stream. And he asked if he could preview them before I added them. So I was like, yeah, fine. Sent them all to him, and he agreed to them all. So, if anyone's got a problem with any of them, then, but it's not really happened yet. No one's asked for anything to be removed.
No, I think for the most part, everybody's in, it's pretty safe. I know you as well as we kind of monitor the things that happen, and at least on the stream, right? Because you don't want somebody going suddenly, hey, I'm going to screw your stream up, and then start disrobing on it. I'm like, no, where's the button to turn this? Stop.
Yeah, I think there's only one time that I've been asked to remove a sound, actually, and it was kind of a joint community decision, and it was one of Aldronis's, and it was only because every time you did !Al, it played that sound. He had like 6 or 7 in the file for it to choose from, and it kept picking that one, and everyone was just like, we've had enough of this one. It was an impression from the film Shrek, saying like, get out of my swamp or something, and it came up every time, and it was just... Honestly, it came up so often, we just got rid of it.
Right. Oh, I can see that. Rezi, you'd be surprised. I have seen things. And we'll just leave it at that.
I had Peebs in his underwear on my stream once.
I mean, need we say more?
We did drink a lot. He came to stay for the weekend, and we did drink a fair bit. And then he did knock all of my monitors over. Yeah, I've got a clip of it somewhere. The entire thing just toppling over.
Oh no!
But you can see me pressing the marker button on my stream deck so that I could get a clip of it later before I went to my Be Right Back screen. Priorities.
Absolutely right.
I'm never gonna let him live that down.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't know that you should let him live that one down. I would take every chance that you could and just bring it back up to remind him, hey, there was this time, Peebs.
Once upon a time, not so long ago.
Right? In a galaxy far, far away. Peebs had a little bit too much to drink. Channeled the wrong thing.
I don't even know how he managed it. I don't know.
Some people I call that like natural talent, right? It's just some people are just born with some natural talent for destructive behavior.
At least it made for a good clip.
Oh, I can imagine. So, Bell versus Peebs. Why did we stop that?
Just because Peebs stopped.
Bailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can blame Peebs for it. Got it.
We had some good Bell versus Peebs, though.
I'm fantastic Bell versus. I personally enjoyed the competition, but I mostly enjoyed the bets, because then it was always like, who's got the worst bet this week? Oh no, Bell definitely by far. Okay, start sabotaging Bell.
That's what made it so great. Is if you know who you want to have to do their forfeit, then you know who to sabotage, don't you?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was always a matter of like, what's the bets on this week? Right. Sorry, Peebs, you're losing.
That's how
Quick,
the wedding
everybody
dress
gang up on
stream came
Peeps.
about, and one of the occasions of Sprouts was a BVP.
Yep.
And Peebs had to wear a dress on stream once. He had to do a dress stream.
I missed that
He
one.
had to eat a banana. He hates bananas.
I don't understand that one at all.
No.
Like
I
that
can't
one,
remember what other forfeits we had.
I watched him eat the banana. I watched him almost hurl the banana out too, and I'm like, it's a banana. It's a bit of pulp and sugar. It's why are
It's a
you making
banana.
the face? It's a banana.
Oh, I think at one point I had Peebs written across my chest. That was one of mine at some point.
Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of the paybacks that it's just so much fun. But
we had to change our ringtones at one point as well. So I always have my phone on vibrate. It's never on loud, and I had to have it on loud for a week with the.
Oh,
I think
no.
I had the the uwu piggy wiggy sound on blurb.
Yes. Yep.
I had to have that as my ringtone, and I wasn't allowed to put my phone on silent. And Al and Peebs both have my number. Can't remember what Peebs' ringtone had to be changed to, because he definitely had to do it. But I can't remember what his was changed to.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, how often did they call you during your stream just to make your phone ring?
A few times. My noise gate tended to not let the ringtone pick up fully, though. So I think after a couple of times of it not coming through properly, they sort of gave up with that one. Yeah. It could have been Muffin Man that Peebs had his.
Oh. Now that's a meme that has gone round in circles. Hi, Thug. Welcome in.
Muffin Man was my mum's themed ringtone on her phone for almost a year as well. She only changed it the other day.
Did you have to push her to make that change, or was it just
Nope.
something that? No.
Voluntarily, but if I ring it, it plays the uwu piggy wiggy sound.
Thanks,
I
Mom.
Didn't ask for that. I have a dog demanding attention. What do you want, Millie? What do you want? Head scritches.
Head scritches? Head scritches.
Head scritches. They'll soon turn into butt scritches. She'll turn around in a minute.
Isn't that always the way, though? I don't think I've ever not had a dog that hasn't gone from head to butt. It's like, here, just travel. Just travel. It's fine. It's fine. You'll get there.
Because I have long nails on. You should see the look on her face when I give her scritches and I don't have my nails on. She's like, that's not
the look
right.
of betrayal.
Try again, Mum. Try again.
The look of absolute betrayal, I can imagine.
Yeah. Those aren't the good scritches.
Let's see. Miss Resilient Gamer would like to know, what has been your most enjoyable game thus far?
Ooh. I think the game that I've gone back to time and time again has got to be Labyrinthine, just because it's a chill game to me anyway. I know a lot of people be like, well, how is that a chill game? But it's my comfort game.
Don't
I
ask.
think we
Just
introduced
take it
that
on
game
faith. It's fine.
to Rez and Peebs and all of them as well. And everyone seems to enjoy it, and it's just it's my comfort game.
I have watched you guys. I've watched him play it enough times. I have seen a number of people play that particular game. I've watched you play that game. I'm like, other than the fact that you've got a guy screaming in your ear, it's not what I would call like. It's not a very scary. I would classify it as a chill game because it just doesn't strike me as terrifying.
Yeah, there are occasional moments where, it's nice and quiet, you're not expecting anything, you turn around a corner and the pig screams in your face. that can make you jump. But I wouldn't really say it's particularly a scary game.
Have you tried content warning yet?
Yes.
Oh, that is such a good time.
Yeah, we were playing some of that again the other week with
That is such-
Atmos and Pegawing and Delena.
Yes. We
I
get
like
in
that
there
you can
and
download the videos as well at the end.
oh, yes. I think they hit on a real winner with that particular feature.
Definitely.
I can tell you, however, if you play with people that are far enough apart, whoever's handling the camera needs to be the guy who's hosting the game. So, like, we have a Baldur's Gate 3 group. It's myself, Zodicus, Brother Fjord, and DM Cerberus Official, which Serb, as we call him, lives in the UK with you. And then the rest of us are over here in the US. And every time Serb had the camera, we didn't get the film back.
Oh. So
there is a latency download upload sort of thing that can happen. Now what's absolutely fascinating about that is if you are in desperate need of points, right?
It does give
in order
you
to make the day. You
yeah.
can actually it'll actually give you enough points to graduate and make it to the next day if you bring the camera back in and throw it in there and get nothing back. It automatically maxes you out for your current session.
Yeah, it's a nice little cheese, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, okay, just don't lose the camera, whatever you do. That became the most important thing. Don't lose the camera.
If
you do good this time, no, give it to...
I got a clip from a couple of weeks ago when we were playing it, and I died, and Atmos and Pega were still alive, and they were somewhere inside. And I needed a wee, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it on because you guys can see what they're up to. I won't put my beer back on. You can just watch what they're doing. Went for a wee, came back to just see Pegwang being yeeted about the map, screaming his head off. I just sat down just to see him screaming, and I was like, why do I come back to this?
What did I just come back into? Oh, yeah. Some of the clips you get from that game are just fantastic. And the fact that you can get them in the game, which is even better. There's a clip of the four of us. We titled our SpookTube channel the Fuck Around and Find Out Boys. And so there's a point where they were recording, and I turn around and look, and you can just hear me. I'm like, guys, because I saw this thing coming, and I'm like, and I hesitated. I'm like, do I say anything? Do I wait? And I went back and forth for a little bit, and I finally like, no, I should probably say something. And by the time I said something, it jumped up, grabbed Rutherford, and started slinging them all over the place. It was freaking hysterical.
I've got one of when I was playing with Spud, and I found a taser somewhere in the map, and I picked it up, turned around, and then there's Spud, and she goes, "Oh, is that a taser?" And I just jabbed her with it. Is that a taser? Ah!
Is that a taser? You tell me.
You've got to tase your friends.
Oh, you got to. It's like you got to use the defibrillator on them too, right after you tase them, and then knock them back down again. Now, have you've done Lethal Company, right?
Oh yeah, loads.
Yes. Do you do modded Lethal Company?
Yeah, best way. I have 186 hours in Lethal Company.
Okay, I don't feel bad at my 150 hours then.
I tend to do Lethal Company on a Saturday, like a community day. People jump in, jump out, do whatever, you know.
Right.
Get some good clips from that game.
Oh, you can get some lovely clips from that. I apparently have a tendency to walk into a room and go, not to alarm anybody, but, and right after I say that, brackets will show up and kill somebody and run off with their bodies.
I had that on Saturday. We found, because we have have you seen the Mimic fire exit mod?
Oh God, That's terrifying.
Well, we found one of the rooms, and it had 4 fire exits in it on a map that's only supposed to have 1. So I think
Yeah.
there was me and Pegger, and Pegger always likes to play fire exit roulette anyway. So he picked a fire exit and he died. So there were 3 left for me to choose from, and I was just stood on the gangway, and I was umming and ahhing between all of them, and then I finally made my decision, just started pressing interact, and got my neck snapped. Like, where did he even come from? So we never got to find out what the other fire exits were. We'll never know.
The mystery still deepens and lingers.
Mm. I've got so many clips as well of Apple running away from like the thumper or something, running around a corner and just getting her neck slapped because she just ran headfirst into the bracken.
Oh God, that dude is something else. Literally every time I walk into a room, I'm like, not to alarm anybody. The usual crew that I run around with on occasion will absolutely, at that point, will just panic and then dip out of the room. Like if I want to clear a room, I walk in not to alarm anybody, and like everybody's gone.
My
why did
frequent
everybody
thing
run
is
away?
going, I can hear a trap, and then skadoosh, I get hit by the trap.
Oh, no. Oh, did you see those spike traps?
Yeah.
First time I ran into it, I'm like, I was looking for the individual that was my partner running into it. I'm like, they died over here. Well, there's the body. I don't see anything that killed them. And so I'm looking all over the place. Doesn't see anything. Get killed by the spike traps. Go into Deadsville land, and my partner's like, I'm sitting here yelling at the screen. Don't do it.
I've got one
like,
somewhere of it was in the like the server room,
right?
And I'd run through it, not heard a single thing, nothing. Picked up an engine, heard the skadoosh sound, and I said to Apple, "Did you hear that? What was that?" And she goes, "Hear what?" And I turned around, went to run back to Apple, and then right in front of her eyes, just got smacked by this trap. So when it went to the spectator view, you could just hear Apple pissing herself laughing, and from her point of view, you could just see my body dangling on the trap.
Oh, those are fantastic, right?
Yeah.
That's some of the best moments.
I like the. Have you seen the Immortal Snail mod?
No, I've not seen that one yet.
It adds an enemy, which is the Immortal Snail.
Mm-hmm.
It only targets one player, and it's kind of like a mine that moves, that looks like a snail. So if you scan it, it'll tell you who it's targeting. But if it touches the person it's targeting, it blows you up. Anyone else can run over it fine, but just the person it's targeting will blow up. So, and it can go outside and it can get in the ship. So one day, Pegger Wang was just outside the entrance, and there was a load of loot outside. So we were scanning it, deciding what we wanted to take back to the ship first, what was the most expensive. And as I was spectating, I could just see the snail come out the door, and I'm like, "Pegger Wang, no! Pegger Wang, turn around!" Boom!
Oh, God.
I didn't even see it coming.
Oh, that's fantastic. Just, I don't know. Sometimes it's always one of those. It's like, do you laugh hysterically and piss yourself when you watch your best friend die like that, or do you just poke fun at them, and be like, you numpty, you should have known better?
You've got to laugh. The number of times I've died and then it's gone to spectate Pegger or Apple, and if one of them's seen how I've died, it'll go to spectate one of them, and it'll just be them pissing themselves laughing. I do the same to them, but
Oh yeah. There's
some of the best deaths are the gravity deaths, though. When you fail a jump.
Oh yeah. Who was I was actually running around with Allosaurus and a couple of her friends, and they were like, "Yeah, I've got this. I'm an expert jumper," and goes to leap off the edge and just walks off instead. I'm an expert jumper. Yeah, splat.
I was
Just not.
playing with Van a few weeks ago, and it was his first time on the game. And I said, we came to a jump. I said, right, this is going to kill you more than anything else in the game. Guarantee you. This is going to kill you more than anything else. And he jumped over it
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
He's like, no, I'm a professional. I got this. I'm good at this. Next jump, splat.
Splat. It's the minute you claim expertise, that's when it comes back to get you. Like just don't ever claim to be an expert. In fact, just don't do the jump.
Yeah, just
That's my secret.
don't do it.
What? There's a jump there? Yeah, no, I'll pass. That's all right. There's got to be something else down this way. I think I saw a turn back there. I'm just gonna go back that way and look. It's fine.
The worst ones when you do the jump and then you realize you could have just gone round.
Oh, those, yes.
Or if you die to
That-
the jump and then your friend walks round.
Yep. Do you play with the? Do you occasionally put up the extra emotes?
Yes,
It's like
we have.
you
I
give me
like the swearing emote.
Hiya, Norson. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, it's one of those. It's yeah. The emotes are fun. I think the emotes make it to a degree. They some of the people who've made these mods have made some of these extra emotes and have taken it to that extra level of. We've gone from just being funny to it's now almost artistry. Because
I think that's the beauty of LC, though, isn't it? Is that they've left it open to be modded.
Yes.
So anything,
Which is nice. Not a lot of game companies do that. No, not a lot of games are leave it open for modding.
No, but there's so many mods now. Like at one point, we were updating the mod list every day because there was a period of time when it just came out. I think we played LC for every stream for about 2 months, and every day the
Right.
mod list that we were using was changing.
Oh yeah. Always adding something new, adding something more. Bigger changes. I thought the bigger lobbies and Late Company were probably the two. Those are my two favorite mods, if for nothing more than just the chaos curve goes rapidly up the more people beyond that 4 you have.
Yeah, I think we've
First-
had up to about 8 or 9 people in at one point, and it's crazy.
There was, I actually had a Friday stream, and it was, we joined forces with like 3 other live streamers at that point and had, I think, a 15-person lobby running. It was nuts. But then, that was also the birth of WeeWoo. Zeta was calling WeeWoo over the radio, and the guy was like, I don't understand what WeeWoo is. I'm like, that's the ambulance sound. You're supposed to teleport him back. Oh, is that why he died? I should have hit this button sooner.
See, we don't often buy the walkie-talkies or anything. If we've got someone sat in the ship, we have the teleport me wiggle, where you just make your character like wiggle so they're being on the map.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I had never considered teleport wiggle.
Yeah. Because sometimes someone's just stood still for some reason or whatever, and you're like, are they dead? Are they whatever? So we have the teleport wiggle.
I think the radios add an extra element of just pure chaos, especially if you get on there and just start making random noises. How many times have you actually gone around the corner, ducked down, gone really quiet, and waited for one of your people to pass, and then just jump up behind them and scare the crap out of them?
See, I don't think I've actually done. I've not done that.
Oh, you've not done that? Oh, you're
No.
missing out. That is such a. So that's the nice thing about the whole proximity chat, right?
Well, yeah.
I have done this thing where I've gone running ahead of people, da 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 da, and then screamed, and then gone deadly quiet, and then just hide in the corner, watch them run past, and then go, "What are we looking at?" And just watch them. jump out of their skin a little bit. It's absolutely you should try it sometime.
I might, yeah. I've done it before where I've legitimately run around a corner and like found a turret or something and gone running back, screamed and gone running back. And then I think it was Major and Delana, and they were like, "Oh yeah, let's go towards that noise." And they came running and like, "What is it?" And then the turret focused on them, and they were just like, "Ah!" Like, well, I did try and warn you.
Well, you know, there was a warning. Didn't you see me? I came screaming
You heard
around
me
the corner.
scream, you saw me run in the opposite direction. What more do you want?
Exactly, right? Like I communicated there was a problem here. It's fine, right?
Pegger and I have got into the habit of warning each other about a hazard after the person's died to the hazard.
Oh,
So, like, I'll be running down a corridor, see a turret, won't say anything. About 10 seconds later, I'll hear the gun go off, and I'll just be like, "Pegger, watch out for the turret."
that sounds rather dastardly.
It has become a bit of a running joke.
I'd say,
Or it's like, watch out. There was one, I've got a clip somewhere where me and Pegger are both running around a corner in a dark corridor, and I see the mine in front of Pegger, and I get as far as "watch out for the," and then he blows us both up.
uh-huh.
So now, like, if someone dies to a mine, and because Pegger normally has the sound on my stream when he's playing in game anyway, so he knows whenever I've died. And if I go to spectate him after I've died, he'll always just say, "Oh, watch out for that mine," or whatever it is that killed me. It's just like, you cheeky shit.
But those
I can always just pan to Pegger and he'll be laughing his head off that I've died every single time.
At least you're laughing, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea here, right? At the end of the day, is laughing and having a good time. So that's delightful. Yeah,
And I get my own back.
Oh, yeah, well, you have to, right? You just can't let them get away with that. No. You almost have to get them back. That's kind of rules of the road for this. You did what to me? Well, enemy of my enemy just became my newest target.
You know have you seen the Easter eggs in Lethal Company, the item?
I have seen the Easter eggs, yes.
Yeah. So we've got into the habit of trying to blow each other up with them. Because it's got a random chance to explode when you drop it.
Right.
So whenever you see someone with an Easter egg, we run in the opposite direction, try and just get away from them, because you know they're going to blow you up. And we were just landing on the company planet, and it got to the point where the ship's doors had just opened, but we hadn't quite landed. And Pegger dropped the egg in front of me. It exploded, blew me out the ship doors, across the company yard, and I just landed on the floor and died. Like, it could not have gone better if he'd have planned it.
Wow. Peg is vicious. No prisoners taken. Good grief. Yeah.
Delana's vicious with a stop sign.
The what is that? The one that turns the it's a nightmare. Like I can still hear that Thomas the Train engine or whatever. There's a mod that turns the caterpillar into the train. Five Nights at Freddy train.
Right. I don't have that mod.
Yeah, you should try it. It'll give you nightmares.
You've got to have the loot bug yippee mod. That's a must.
I had that one. We've also had the loot bug German version as well as the British version. The British version is actually rather funny and very rude.
I'll have to check it out.
He sounds like he's I don't know where at in England he's from, but wherever it is that particular loot bug is from has got to be the rudest area in UK you could ask for, because everybody's some kind of wanker or twat.
I walked around a corner once and found two loot bugs because we've got the cat mod. so you can find cats
Right.
around the facility. So I walked around the corner to find these 2 loot bugs with a cat in the middle, and it was just like it looked very sus. There was just loot bug, cat, loot bug, proper like huddled together, just fidgeting slightly, and it looked honestly, I don't know what they were up to, but it wasn't right.
They're planning. Oh, that's marvelous.
It was extremely sus.
I don't disagree with you on that one. Now,
Not gonna lie though, I
did
did not rescue the cat from the situation.
I wouldn't
I
have.
just left the cat there.
I absolutely would have. Be like, nope, sorry, cat, you're on your own.
You got yourself into this mess, you can get yourself out of it.
Good luck trying. So did we answer your question about the most enjoyable game?
We went with Labyrinthine.
That's right. I'm like, we have gone down this like rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but Labyrinthine's like
where was
Labyrinthine's
that?
like my cozy favorite game, I think. LC is probably one of my favorite, just big group games of just stupidity.
Oh, right. Yes.
But Lab's just one of those games that I'll always go back to.
It's a good game. I haven't. I keep seeing it pop up on sale, and I'm like, oh, I should probably go get that one. Because I watch everybody else play. I'm like, that looks like it would be a little bit of fun.
Problem I have at the moment is I've got most of the cosmetics,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like, what's
really
the
a
point? Yeah.
Right. Not really any solid drive or motivation to continue playing it anymore. Well, that's fair. I mean, but that happens, right?
But I do have a lot of hours in it before I got to that point, so.
Any
hours.
specific horror game recommendations that you would make?
If you like sort of jump scary, sort of detective-y, at Dead of Night, that's one of my favorites that I did for a solo. I used to do the solo Spoopy Sundays. That was a really fun one. I called him Jimothy. His name was Jimmy, but I always called him Jimothy. You had to try and avoid him as you were doing your detective stuff around the hotel. And I wouldn't see him for ages, and I'd say, oh, I've not seen Jimothy for a while, and then without fail, every single time, bonk, hits me on the head. Every time. Al knows, he was there. Like, every single time.
I didn't win.
I think because I do a clip reel every month of all the best moments of that month. And the month that I played at Dead of Night, every other clip was just, oh, I haven't seen Jimmy for a while, bonk.
Now, what started the whole clip reel? Like, was that just something you decided to do all of a sudden one day, or somebody suggested?
No, I just randomly decided. I don't know what made me think of it. I think it was probably not long after I'd got my stream deck, so I could put markers on my streams easier. And I was getting all these clips, and I just thought, well, do you know what? Let's do something with them. And the clip reel was born. People seem to enjoy it, and it's a good laugh.
Oh, it's good fun. I have watched a number of the clip reels. I'm like, that's a fabulous idea. I get too much in the moment and I forget to hit the button to so I can take the clip, and then a lot of times it's like, I just don't have time to go back to pull it out of the VOD later on.
Yeah, normally, like, to me, because I've been doing it for so long, like, and I've got the death counter and the scare counter, so if it's like a stupid death or a jump scare, the button is right next to those buttons anyway, so it's quite a natural. I just press both. Or if it's just something stupid, I've just been doing it for so long that it's just a natural reaction to press the marker button. It's just natural to me now.
Get the stupid button.
I end up with VODs like 70 odd markers on them. I also have the exclamation marker command, as Al's pointed out. So people in chat, if something happens, I think I've got it set to like VIPs and subscribers, because you don't want everyone being able to do a marker, because some idiot's going to see it's a thing and just
start marking up the place, right?
Yeah. So I made that a thing. So if I don't press the button, then they can. And usually on a Saturday, I'll go through my VODs for the week and just get all those clips. Although I did kind of slack off, and I had 2 weeks of clips to get this weekend. I only got 1 week of clips, so now on Saturday before I make the clip reel, I've got 2 weeks of clips to get again.
I'll be honest,
Been a
yeah,
bad,
I
bad
think
path.
that command is there, but honestly, I just don't have time to use it. It's fantastic. It's and that would require I actually have time to go back and do stuff with that.
Yeah. But because I do the clip reel and everything, I like having all those clips there to look back on. And for my 2-year anniversary and my 1-year anniversary, I did an anniversary special clip reel, looking at,
Yep.
I've split it into sections. So we had like stupid deaths, musical moments, epic jump scares, special
Yeah.
mentions, things like that. So they're nice. I've got them, every single clip I've ever had, I've got on my PC or on the hard drive, sorted by year, by month.
Oof. That's a lot of data.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Al says,
And
I
a
also do a
stream
stream
quiz.
quiz every now and then where we do Who Said It, normally based off of the sound commands. So it could just be like, who said blah, 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 blah? Was it Apple? Was it Al? Was it Baker? And it's an on-screen sort of interactable thing. Twitch can interact with it without leaving Twitch. It's
Yep.
an extension. That's the word I'm after.
I use that. I saw you the first time you used that. I'm like, oh, I use that too. I used that during my 500 celebration. When I crossed over 500, we did a party around here, and we gave out prizes. And the winner of the trivia got the big prize. So that was fun. It was a good time. We did.
Back to the question though, The Quarry is another good one, another good game.
Quarry.
I'd recommend.
I've seen that. I have not played that, but I've seen bits of.
I did a chat plays version of it where I had a poll overlay on the stream. So anytime there was a choice, chat got to decide what happened. Naturally, they tried to kill everybody. So I think I had thieves in voice chat to decide on like the quick time events where chat didn't have enough time to do it. I think I had Peeves and Apple maybe in voice chat to make those decisions, and then for the rest of it, it was just chat trying to murder everybody. I think they killed everyone but 2.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
There's that one girl character in it that is just, she's really annoying. I killed her on my playthrough as well. Like, she was annoying.
Chat tends to be rather vicious. We were doing BG3. So our BG3 play night happens every Sunday. And at the beginning, we actually had the overlay turned on where we let chat pick. And I think we still have the overlay turned on so that chat can make decisions on what is happening along during the story of our BG3 play sessions. There's just nobody really picks anything. But one of the most infamous moments is our very first play session through there. They killed Asterion. Like, chat chose to kill Asterion. And Brother Fjord.
Ban them all, Nori.
We thought it was funny. I thought it was freaking hysterical. And everybody, I tell that too. I'm like, yeah, chat decided to kill Asterion this time around. They're like, excellent, good chat. I'm like, wow, people, it's a love-hate relationship with Asterion. That's definitely a thing.
See, Rez knows exactly which one was annoying me in the quarry. She knows. The social media wench. That's funny. So, social media wench. I'm trying to remember who that one is, and I'm drawing a blank on that one. She irritated everyone. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. She's have you ever seen the show The Orville? It's on Disney Plus, I believe.
No.
She's the annoying girl in The Quarry is played by a woman in that. But if you haven't seen it, then it doesn't really make any sense.
It's fine. To be honest,
Seth
I don't.
MacFarlane's show.
I don't get much of a chance to watch TV these days. So, but it's bad enough. Like we stopped watching TV. I don't have cable at my house at all. I have the internet and that's it. So most of my viewing comes from streaming sites. If and when we decide to pay for one, so occasionally we'll like pick up a Netflix subscription because the missus wants to watch something or there's something I want to watch or whatnot, and then after that we're done.
See, I pay for the Disney Plus, and my brother pays for the Netflix, and we obviously just, exchange details because he's got 2 little ones, so he gets more use out of Disney Plus than I do, I think.
Oh,
but I get more use out of his Netflix, so.
There you go. That's the way to do it, right? You know, everybody wins at that point. You know, there's nobody who loses. No, that's not true. Netflix loses, and Disney Plus might lose a little bit. But
Netflix
they've got enough money. I don't think
if you have a different house login, you have to pay an extra fee to have the other house login.
Okay.
I think it was like an extra £4 or something if it's not your home location logging in.
Interesting. Oh, that's a new twist for them.
Yeah, it's like, so it's it's my account, but it's linked to their account, so they pay for it, but my account's technically separate to theirs, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Never
just
seen that one done
scrolling
yet.
through my Steam library, thinking, what other good games have I played? I've been enjoying Granny Remake recently.
Really?
Yeah, that's a remake of an old game. Quite spooky. I did break the game the first time I played it though. Only a little bit.
only a little bit.
She got stuck in the floor in a doorway, so like the floor was like up to her middle. And so I was hiding under the bed from her, and she got stuck in this doorway, and I was like, well, I don't know, is she gonna come out and kill me if she sees me, or is she stuck? So eventually I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get out. I can't just stay under the bed for the rest of the game.
Right.
Got out from under the bed, and she was stuck. So I thought, well, I'm just going to try and shut the door. And I only touched it once. I just interacted with it once, and the door just kept on slamming in her face. Like, even on stream, I was like, look, I'm not even touching this anymore. This is doing it by itself.
Granny, you have done the thing where you are so bad, even the game is taking it out on you.
So I spent most of that game having no worries. I had free reign of the house. And then I went and got myself stuck and had to restart, and then Granny was loose again. So I've still not completed it. I've done 2 streams of it, and I've still not completed it. She gets me every time.
Oof.
But I'm enjoying it.
But again, priorities, right? As long as you're enjoying it, that's the ticket.
Exactly.
You hate a loose granny. We can make follow-on comments about that, but I think we'll just let that one go for right now.
We'll just leave that as it is.
Leave as is. The nori filter is properly intact tonight. That's what my missus calls it, is the nori filter, is because my brain sometimes just works faster than my mouth or slower than my mouth does. Excuse me. Invert that. So my mouth runs faster than my brain does, and sometimes the most inappropriate things come out.
I've definitely done that on stream, and I'm pretty sure Al and Rez are probably going to know exactly what I'm about to say. But Peebs came into chat one day, and I said, "Oh, hi Peebs, how are you?" And he said, "Alive." And without my brain engaging, I just said, "Oh, you're alive? Oh dear." Like, what I meant was, "Oh dear, you're not feeling great," not "Oh dear, you're alive."
Whoops.
And that is still brought up. Never living that down.
How are you doing today, Peep? Still alive? Darn. Yeah. No. I'm like, we can spin this back. No, not even. No, we're just gonna. Yep, it's a thing. It's,
Like as a streamer, when you're doing like that constant sort of monologue out loud, it's like you're thinking with your mouth. Like you don't stop. The thoughts don't hit your brain. It just comes
no,
out.
it's yes. In once, as soon as it hits your brain, as soon as you have that thought, it's right on out. There is no gate. There is absolutely no. There is no gate. It's just it's out. It's out and enjoying the free view of the world.
This is a really bad story. I was playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with Vibes. So I had the bomb and he had the manual. And we were doing one of the letter puzzles, and I was reading out what letters I had to Vibes. And you know when you get a word stuck in your head and you can't get rid of it and you can't think of anything other than that word?
Yes.
So I was going through the letters and I went, and then we've got N for...
Oh no. Oh no.
Nigerian?
Quick, another N word.
And I don't know, it just got stuck in my head, and everyone knew what I was trying not to say. I was like, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Think of another word. Think of another word, Belle, quick.
Like I need an N word, and suddenly there's just none there.
There are no more words that begin with N. It just doesn't exist. And honestly, you can see in the when it happened in the clip, you could just see my eyes go wide, and I'm just like,
That's what we call the brain filter, right? Because occasionally it actually slams shut on something that we don't want actually to have come out. It does work, and when it does, the whole rest of everything else just disengages.
It did cue about a 10-minute laughing fit between me and Vibes, though. I think for the clip reel for that month, I did the like the SpongeBob 5 minutes later sort of cue card things.
Yep.
And every 2 or 3 clips, I'd cut it back to a section of that 10-minute laughing fit of just, it was either me crying, laughing, or Vibes crying, laughing. And honestly, it was just, oh, it's so funny.
But that's those are moments. Those are fantastic moments. Like those are my favorite moments to have. Is just that uncontrollable laugh myself silly. For nothing more than it's just funny.
There was one, I can't even remember what had happened. I know we were playing Lethal Company. Can't remember if there was just a really funny death or something, but something just really, really tickled me. And I couldn't even look at another player's character without laughing. I had to stick myself in the corner of the ship, looking at the corner to try and calm down. And I'd just calm down and start to breathe. I'd turn around to go to play the game, and I'd saw like Apple or Stoner or someone, and that was it. I was back in the corner again. And honestly, I can't even remember what happened at this point, but it was so funny. I was crying. And when I start laughing really hard and like get proper laughing fit, I can't breathe properly.
Right.
And I end up just wheezing down the microphone, like no sounds coming out anymore. It's just tears, red face. Like it sounds like I'm dying. Honestly, when I have one of those laughing fits, I'm just dead.
Oh, those are fantastic laughing fits. Those are my favorite kind of laughing fit.
For a day or two as well.
I always know when you're. So, have you ever like laughed and smiled enough that when you're done, like you've disengaged and you relax your face, you get that instant headache?
No, I've had face ache, like when you stop smiling and you can just feel every muscle in your face hurt.
I have laughed like a maniac enough times that when I get done, especially game of golf. Oh, especially game of golf, or around here we call it Den After Dark. You want spicy conversations? Get into VC here in Discord after it would be like 1 o'clock in the morning for you, but around here, yes. Post laugh headache was from lack of oxygen.
That could be it.
Ask Squirrel about the Den After Dark conversations. They always result set in laughter headaches. Like we don't have
It's
one of
the
those,
best way.
and just they hurt, they're painful, they're absolutely glorious, and we do it over and over again.
It's the best way to get a headache, though.
I suffer from chronic headaches. I hate headaches, period. But I will take one of those headaches. Like I will take one for the team for that. That's fine. It's fine.
See, I don't tend to get headaches too much unless the dog's misbehaving and barking her head off all day. But
Now, what kind of dog is it?
she's a Springer crossed with a Pointer crossed with a dickhead. Like, she is the smartest, stupid dog you will ever meet. She is so clever and yet so stupid. It astounds.
That's incredible.
Like, there was one time she was really, really poorly, and she had to have tablets every day, 2 times a day. She had to have these tablets, and you could tell she was just ill. Like, the morning I woke up, you could tell she was ill. She wouldn't sit on the sofa. She was just lying on the floor. You know when an animal just looks unwell. So I ended up getting a blanket down and just lying on the floor with her before the vets opened. So she had to have these tablets 2 times a day, and I tried wrapping it in ham. She wouldn't have it. I stuck it in a bit of cheese. She'd eat the cheese around it. She was not buying it. I made her sit and give me paw 2 times a day for a whole week, and she ate it perfectly fine, thinking it was a treat. It worked the whole week. She got a little bit sus towards the end, but it worked.
That's one of those, as a fellow dog owner, I totally get that. Like, oh, you won't take it this way? Here, it's a treat. Right down it goes. Doesn't even stop to question this. Like, I don't even think they taste their treats half the time because they just kind of snap it up and it's gone. I think what they get is that smell, and that's
Millie
about as good as
definitely
it
doesn't
gets.
chew half the time.
No.
Like, we had a roast dinner on Sunday, and I took like a chunk of the meat, and it was a decent sized chunk. After we'd eaten, we always put a bit to the side for the dog if it's something she can have. And I took this chunk and I gave it to it, and it just went down in one go. And I was like, "You did not even enjoy that."
Like, did you even taste what you just put in your mouth?
Are you even aware you ate something at this point? You know.
I don't think they are half the times. I think it's in, out, and gone, and that's all she wrote.
There was she tends to play up more for me than for Baker as well. But she was my dog before I met Baker, and because my ex and I got her, and then when we split up, I kept her. And so one day we'd been to my brother's house, and he's got like a rose bush at the end of his garden, a bit thorny, and she'd flung her ball in there and gone charging in after it, and she'd hurt her paw, and she was limping. And this was on like the Saturday morning or something. And on Sunday afternoon, she was still limping. And I said to Baker, I said, "If she's still limping by the morning, I'll ring the vets." And he goes, "What are you on about? She's not limping." And I'm like, "She is. She's limping." And he goes, "No, she isn't." So I sat at the top of the stairs and watched as he let her out. And she went running out perfectly fine, or like walking on it, full pressure on her foot, nothing wrong with her. She came back in through the front door, saw me sat on the stairs, and then just started limping again.
That's like, you little.
Yeah, she always plays it up for me, I think.
That's fantastic.
When we first got her, my ex always said, "Right, we will," because he's the one who wanted a dog,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Right, when we get this dog, they're not sleeping in our bed. You know, they'll have their
Right.
own. The dog will have its own bed. She's not sleeping in our bed." It didn't even last a day. I'd just let her in the bed. Like, she sticks her nose under the covers onto my leg, so I'll lift my leg up with the covers, and she'll get in and curl up by my feet.
Right.
And even when it's hot and I don't have covers over my legs, I can't sleep with no covers. So I'd just have like covers at the top half, but nothing on my legs. So even
Yep.
if I don't have covers, she'll stick her nose on my leg, wait for me to lift my leg up for her to get in, even though there's no covers for her to get under. She's
Oh, that's
she's a
fantastic.
special one.
You know, you wouldn't have them any other way, though.
No, she's a rescue as well. When we went to see her, she was like the last dog in the kennels right at the end, and she was just
Right.
sat at the back looking all sorry for herself. And I just took one look at her, and like I say, it was my ex who wanted a dog. But I just took one look at her and I said, "We're having that one. I don't care. We're having that one." You know, when you know, you
that's the
know.
one that's yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right. There's no question. You don't even have to think about it. Like that one's coming home. That's a dog that's going to fit in well around the house. It'll be just fine. Deal with it. It is coming with us.
When we split up, he tried saying he was going to keep the dog. Because she was always my dog. Like I say, he wanted the dog, but she was always my dog. She just connected with me
Yeah.
better. I don't know if it's because she's a rescue and her previous owner was a man, or whether
Right.
she just didn't like him. But she was always more my dog. She'd cuddle with me. So he tried to say he was going to keep her. He worked 12-hour days in a factory, and he was going to keep the dog.
Yeah, that's
But I'm like 99% sure he was only saying it just to try and get a reaction out of me. So I just turned around and said, "Yep, that's fine. You keep the dog." And literally one day later, because I think I left on the Friday, by the Saturday, he'd text me saying, "Oh, I've been thinking about it. You should probably take the dog." And I'm like, "Oh, you think? Really? Yeah?"
yeah, don't say.
I don't think he expected me to just say, "All right then, go on then."
Go on, you can have them. It's fine.
Yeah.
You wanted it. It's your problem now. I'm out. Oh,
But
you
it's
gotta
like-
love when you call somebody on their. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, and I don't think there is, so we're just gonna call it like it is. But you gotta love it when you can call somebody on their BS and then just deal with it. You know, like, nah, you're full of it. Let me show you how full of it you are, and now how you gonna walk this one back?
When I left, I moved back into my mum's, and I'd paid for all the furniture for mine and my ex's house, and he was moving to another rented house. So I said, "Look, you can keep all the furniture until you get yourself sorted. I'm not," because he had a kid. So I was like, "I'm not going to leave you with nothing. I'm not an unreasonable person. You can keep all the furniture, and I'll just pick it up as you replace stuff as you can. I'll pick up what's mine and bring it back. You know, no rush, nothing. You know, I'm a reasonable person." So whenever I'd go over to pick up something that he'd replaced, I'd take the dog with me so that he could, you know, still see the dog. And no word of a lie, the dog was more excited to see Baker after he'd been away for a couple of days than she was to see my ex, her previous owner, after a couple of months.
Wow. Well, you know, they say a dog knows.
I'd drop Baker off because he used to live like an hour away from where we live now. I'd drop Baker off and I'd get home and the dog would just be sat by the door waiting for him to come in. And it's like, "I'm really sorry, baby girl, but he's not going to walk through the door." And it was just like so heartbreaking just watching her just sitting there waiting for him to come home. Bless
Miss
her.
Cadius Odin would like to know, what is your favorite book/comic to read?
I used to read a lot. I've never really been into comics. And I did used to read a lot. I don't really have much time for it these days. The most recent thing I read that I enjoyed was a couple of years ago after season 1 of Bridgerton came out. I read the entire Bridgerton series. That was really good. But I like fantasy books a lot as well. There was one I love all the Terry Pratchetts.
Oh, Terry Pratchett's such a good author.
Like I don't see how anyone can not like Terry Pratchett.
Right?
So like if I had to pick any sort of book collection, it was the only series or book collection, you know, that I could ever read again, I'd pick Terry Pratchett. I just don't have the time to read anymore.
Such a good series of books. You can take any one of them.
Death is such a good character in any Terry Pratchett book.
That is the most depressing death. I'm like, okay, I almost feel like I understand where Monty Python got their version of death. You know, the salmon
Yeah.
moose.
Oh yeah, that's true,
Uh,
Al. Technically, Baker did used to live only 9 miles away from Aldronis. Before we even knew each other, they lived up the road from each other.
so is that Baker? Is that Aldronis's way of claiming ownership over Baker first?
Maybe. If he hasn't
That-
licked him, he's not his. That's how we claim things as our own.
That's how we claim things around here. Did you lick him first? No. Well, sorry, he's mine now. I just had thoughts of Baker like, crap, time to go get the towel out the bathroom. I'll be back. Get him a stop sign for Christmas. Just use this to keep back Aldronis.
Here is your anti-Al defense stick.
It's still a good time, right?
But it's crazy, really, because Baker used to live, like, say, like 9 miles away from Al. But
Mhm.
Mrs. Al has got friends who are, or who used to be, I don't know if they still are, who lived like 20 minutes away from where we are.
Huh.
Download with that.
Oh, yeah, and Baker was at Download at the same time as Apple before they knew each other. So the number of times that we've been in like close proximity to people and not known, you know,
Just pass. Just
Yeah.
in passing.
crazy.
You know, it just goes to show you how small the world really is
Hmm.
and how really big it can feel at times.
I mean,
you're just-
technically, Baker and I wouldn't have met if it hadn't have been for World of Warcraft.
Wow. I can say the same thing about my wife. I wouldn't have met her if it wouldn't had been for World of Warcraft. Well, World of Warcraft and her daughter. Like, her daughters actually set us up, which was comical. But yeah, I wouldn't have known her if I hadn't played World of Warcraft back in the day. Been ages.
Well, my whole family comes from Enfield in London, and then moved up to the countryside, like 4 or 5 hours away from London, and
Right.
then I ended up marrying Baker, who comes from Dagenham in London.
Wow.
Yeah.
No regrets still? So
No.
happy to push him around.
Yeah.
He brings you tea, right? So that counts. I
He
guess
brings
that.
me tea. He cooks me food. He does the washing.
Oh,
good
he
egg.
cooks too.
Mm.
Yeah. No, you don't get rid of that. You got a chef in the house? Psh, no. Full time.
Well, he doesn't work and I do, so he's the house husband. He looks after
Oh, I
everything.
see. I see.
6 years. Why has no one come to save me?
You know, Baker, when I drove out, it's a story we don't tell a whole lot of people. So I drove out from the East Coast to the Midwest of the U.S. to go and meet up with my now wife. And my ex-wife ran around and told everybody that the reason why I had left was because I had been kidnapped. I was being chained up and used as a sex toy in this woman's house.
Right?
My best friend of, God, 5-10 years at this point was like, where do I sign up? Like, what? How dare you? You're not wrong, Eldronis. Because it's good times. It's good times, right? You gotta have it. Miss Caddy would like to know, what is your top 5 games?
Top 5. Ooh. So we've got to have Labyrinthine, Lethal Company, Content Warning. 2 more. Playtop. I've played a lot of Playtop. Completely different sort of game category to the others, but yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding on that one, though. I played up myself a few times.
What's a 5th one? What else? I enjoy the Far Cry games. I know I said I'm not really a shooter person, but Far Cry, I like Far Cry. Far Cry 5, probably.
What was the name of that series? I like the BioShock. That was a pretty good one.
And I never played those.
Oh, wow. I won't spoil too much for you. If you like the Far Cry series, you'll like the BioShock. It's not too bad. It can almost get a little jump scary at times, but it's not like horror jump scary. It's more like you cut a corner and something jumps out and is trying to kill you. And so as long as your immediate reaction is to squeeze the trigger, you're probably safe.
Sort of like in Outlast Trials, if you walk past a cupboard that Doris is hidden or something and she leaps out at you.
Yeah, pretty much. Just start shooting. They're usually close enough. You'll take them out before anything too terribly bad happens. Absolutely, just a fun game.
The thing I found with the Far Cry games is that they seem to alternate between doing a good one and a shit one. So 3 was good, 4 was shit, 5 was good, 5 was shit. New Dawn was good.
Isn't that shit. Like normally the way of games though, especially in like franchises? You could look at the Final Fantasy series. They
can't hit a winner with everything, can they?
No. A Final Fantasy series had some winners and then some absolute cock-ups.
I never played the Final Fantasy games.
My advice to anybody who's like, oh, I've never done the Final Fantasies, don't play them in order. In fact, don't play any of the ones from the old NES.
See, I didn't really get into gaming until I was probably 19, 20. I was never. My brother was always the gamer. He always had an Xbox and a PlayStation and whatever. But I never really got into gaming until I was older. So things like that have been out, like from the SNES and whatever, I never really played. I still have Sega Mega Drive. I used to play a lot of Sonic. But other than that, yes. I never really gamed much until I was in my early 20s.
Fair. Norse and Final Fantasy II is a classic. However, I still would argue with the fact that most people aren't going to enjoy the Final Fantasy series until Final Fantasy VII. Once you've played Final Fantasy VII, fallen in love with the series, it's easier to go backwards.
I suppose some of it's the nostalgia as well.
Yes. Well, it's childhood games for some of us. I like old things. Norson, I think I've got you beat in the age category.
We had a auditor come in at work a couple of months ago, and it came up that I was married, and she went, "You're married? How old are you?" So I said, "Well, I'm 30." And she went, "I thought you were only like 21." I was like, "Yes."
Score.
You can come again.
All right, you've heard it here. Now, this is how you get on Belle's good side. You only look like a balmy 25-year-old. Laughing keeps you young. I will say that. The more
It
you
does.
laugh, it's good. It's good exercise, and it's so much fun.
I am going grey though, underneath all the hair dye. I am going grey.
Now that's one of those things that I do see crop up, and I think I actually may have enough points to do it. Is you let your chat choose your hair color.
I do. Yeah.
How
There isn't
often
a
has
colour
that
my hair
happened to
hasn't
you?
been. And that was before I let chat choose, so
Has there been a color you regret?
not really. I've had one sort of hair dye disaster where I literally I used to do a lot of crocheting
Mhm.
and the hair dye went so bad that I crocheted myself a hat so that I could go to the shop to buy black hair dye to cover the hair dye.
Wow.
But I've never really had a colour that I regret as such. But it was supposed to be that one, it was supposed to be like a denim blue. It was like a brand I'd never tried before or anything like that. And it came out, for some reason, it just came out so patchy and sort of like a little bit green, a little bit blue, a little bit grey. Like it just came out horrible. Like there was no saving it.
Wow.
So that's the only time I've ever hated anything, any hair colour. But I've been blonde, blue, purple. I've had split dyes. I've had it like one colour on top, a different colour underneath. Baker's actually my hairdresser. He dyes my hair for me. He's got the little pots and the brushes and the gloves and everything. He does a good job.
Wow. From what I hear is Baker is just a man of many, many talents.
He is. But it's kind of hard to dye your own hair when you can't see the back of your head and you've got long nails that pierce the gloves. Are you guys just fighting over that last puzzle piece? What if it?
You- Going gray is rather lovely, though. If you don't feel like dyeing it, it's pretty. Anyways, if you do want to dye it, talk about a really neutral background to let the color shine. I have been going gray for quite some time. I just didn't pay any attention.
I'm like I think people are so used to my hair changing colours every couple of months. It'd surprise people more if I turned up to work with brown hair than if I turned up to work with bright pink hair.
And so
People don't
brown
even
hair
bat
is
an
your
eyelid anymore.
So you're naturally a brunette then?
Yeah, I think.
No,
My hair's
I've
not
been
been its
ages
natural
since.
colour for about a decade.
I keep going gray. My hair hasn't been its natural color ever since I started out life as a redhead. I am not very red anymore.
No.
There's some red still in my beard a little bit, but that's about it.
Well, this was supposed to be like tangerine orange, but it came out a little bit redder. It's slowly getting more orange as I wash it because the colour comes out a bit. But
right, yeah, it just looks red.
Yeah,
it just looks fiery red, which is just fine.
It looks a bit more orange in natural light than it does like on camera.
Is that what it? Well, yeah, I suppose that cameras do weird things with colors, anyways. So, of course, that being said, I'm a bit colorblind, so you could have told me that it's fuchsia on your head, and I would have believed it anyways. Been like, oh, that's an interesting color. Sing to me. I'm horrible with color. It's a regular commentary. People are like, what do you think of this color? I'm like, really? Yeah, that looks the same color.
It's a color.
It's a color. You asked Mrs. She'll tell you that we have. I think she says these are gray walls. I'm like, they look white.
We play a lot of, or we used to play a lot of board games, and we had my best friend's fiance is colorblind, and we had there's a game called Sagrada where you have to roll different colored dice, and you have to like make a stained glass window out of these dice, and the color and the number depends on where you can put them in your board. And we took that round one day, forgetting that he was colorblind. So we had to, once we'd rolled the dice, we had to split them up into little piles for him and be like, right, that one's green, that one's red.
Well, bravo. We haven't seen a puzzle completed in quite some time. That's probably because most of the time I'm the one stuck doing the puzzle. There was a number of bodies in here.
I did not do much of the puzzle. I did like 3 edge pieces and then just kept giving you building pieces. That was my contribution.
Aldranus did all of the work. He did like 90% of the heavy lifting. So if you hit a little score up in the corner, it looks like you did probably 1 piece.
Mine did refresh itself, the browser partway through, so yeah. I definitely did more than 1.
Aldranus did a metric ton of these. Well, it's interesting. I think maybe my browser must have reset because I don't have. There's not enough pieces here in this score to be accurate. So, well, this is like a 750 piece puzzle. So,
yeah, that definitely doesn't add up to 750.
Not one bit. No. Like I believe my score. Resi left the game.
Did some as well, and hers isn't there.
Yeah, it's probably because they dipped out. That's probably what happened to the rest of the scores. You've just noticed this.
I didn't realize it was a cake. I'm not gonna lie.
I went looking for a penguin picture to do a penguin puzzle because I thought that seemed most appropriate, but they didn't have a penguin picture. So I'm like, well, that's
need to file a complaint.
Terrible. People suck. But
penguins forever.
Yeah, you say that. Hang on 1 second.
Stream can't actually see the dog, so it just like looks like my arms just like waving off to one side. There is a dog there I'm stroking, I promise. She's holding her rope toy at me, going, please play with me, mummy. It's not Baker.
It's not Baker, are we sure?
I'm sure. Unless he suddenly got very, very hairy and like cute brown eyes and a tail.
Well, Yeah, speaking of the missus, she showed up to say that the cats are demanding their dinner. So life is easy because I have a little app to take care of feeding the cats now. So I just push a button.
Our cat seems to have it in her head that if she goes outside and comes back in again, that means she's going to get fed again.
Our cats, I have the little auto feeder set on the schedule, so they get fed at 5:30 in the morning, and it makes noises and then dispenses the food, and so they leave the bedroom and go out there. The problem is I have not figured out a way to automatically close the door after the cats have left at 5:30, so they go out, they eat, and then they come back in and they start pouncing on top of me to wake me up because they're out of food. And it's time to get fed again. I'm like, I know that you've been fed. I'm looking at the app. It said, fed you already. Go. And I have to get up out of bed.
They just scratch at the door and wake you up way.
Oh, yeah. One of them has turned into a regular drummer. He's figured out how to put his paw underneath the door frame just enough to hook it and then rattle the door. And he'll just sit there. just rattles the door until somebody gets up. Little Go away.
See,
Leave me
our
alone.
cat's like 18, 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not slowing down at all. She's still, has a go at the dog. She scratched the dog's nose the other day. Not for the first time either, but the dog will then be wary of her for a couple of days and then go back to winding her up.
Oh, we're looking at getting a dog. As it sits right now. The missus would like a dog. The cats are cats. And so the cats only want attention when they want attention, which for the one that has picked her, it's never. Like, he hangs with her all the time. He's always her shadow. But you try to reach down and pet him and he's gone. He'll find the nearest thing or whatever and go hide underneath it. Like, you can look, don't touch. And then the one that she picked out that was supposed to be her cat turned into my cat. And because of him, I had to spend a couple $100 in cord wraps for all my cables because he thinks wires are a food group. So he eats them.
My brother had a house rabbit that had that same thought.
No, Aldronus, I don't want your cat. You can keep your cats. I got two. We technically had three, but because we had the two boys that we have and then their mother, and unfortunately, Mama died from feline leukemia. I went out on a trip for business, and when I came back, she died like literally the day after I came back. So
at least you'd come back, you know.
Mm-hmm. We did come back. It's fine, but all kinds of fun. He has two dogs. Well, of course you'd have two dogs. Why would you not have two dogs?
Al's dogs are very cute. He has a puppy cam.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me the login details for it. And every now and then I'll be at work and he'll just send me a message on Discord saying, check out the puppy cam. And I'll log into it and it'll just be one of his dogs asleep in the bay window. And it's like, oh,
those pictures. Oh, it's so cute. Right? While you work. Have you seen those new? So they're actually starting to pop up, and I haven't understood. I haven't figured out the premise behind it, but there are more channels nowadays on Twitch where it's just a web camera pointed at some cage full of animals, an aquarium, a zoo, or whatnot. They're just people watching animals.
I saw one a while ago that, because I always leave people tabbed open. Like if I'm going to bed, I'll leave, like if you're on, I'll leave your stream open lurking, you know, or like Salty or Saf, or, I just leave tabs open. So then when you wake up in the morning, you've fallen through the Twitch rabbit hole and you end up somewhere completely different.
Oh, yeah.
And I woke up one morning to a stream and it was the camera was just looking at a bathtub. And I think it was just frogs. Like there was a frog in the bath, I'm sure it was a frog. And it's just like, what? How did I get here?
Yeah, try to track yourself backwards through the like who sent me here? Like, how did I end up in this position? I ended up on one where we were watching leeches. I'm like, why is this a thing? Why are we watching leeches? They're just kind of sliming everything and crawling everywhere. And no, thank you.
I had one once where there's a member of my community, Van. He's every now and then he'll come in and very generously will drop like 130 gifted subs. And so not long after he'd done that once, quite a while ago, I'd woke up in the morning and I'd gone through the Twitch rabbit hole and there was this random stream, no idea, didn't know anyone in chat, but one of them was using my wave penguin emote and I was like, what? Like, the only thing I could think of was it was just, that so many gifted subs have been given out that it just went, someone that may have
Went
popped in
somewhere.
once, never said anything, or, something like that. But yeah, I just ended up somewhere and someone happened to use my penguin. And it was one of the ones that Apple drew. So it's not like it was one of the ones
Right.
I'd got off of Etsy or something. It was one of my custom ones. It was
Isn't
very
that
surreal.
fantastic? Yeah,
Yeah.
right? That's you ever now, okay, so you've started this line of conversation. I'm curious now. Have you ever just like popped into a random streamer chat and just said hi and then had them like, oh my God, and like completely have a fanboy reaction to you?
Not a random person. I've done it before where someone's been in my chat, and made it known that they're a streamer through general conversation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd follow them, and then I pop in to see them like the next day or a few days later, maybe a week later, whenever I get the time. I popped in to see them, and so I popped in to say hi to this streamer, and then they like fanned. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're actually here." Oh, well, you came to see me. I'm gonna come to see you.
That's the way this works. Thank you for the alert,
Yeah.
Sierra.
You
Right?
support me, I support you.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how all of this works. Right?
Yeah.
It's fine. We're all just regular people, but I always find that interesting when you show up in somebody's chat and you're like, hey, and they're like, oh my God, like what, dude, calm, it's fine. I promise you, I am not that famous.
Or the number of times I've popped into some random person's chat, like I've just thought, oh, I'm in the mood to watch someone play Lethal Company or something. Some random channel, never seen them before or anything, gone in, and then you've seen someone that you know from like your communities,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what are you doing here? Like,
How did you find your way here? I thought I was being random and I'm bumping into you again. I have crisscrossed so many different communities in Twitch in the 2 years, and more so now since I started doing these Talk Tuesdays. I have just like crisscrossed in and out of so many communities at this point. It's a wonder, but it's always amazing to see where the connection lines for each community run at, right?
Mm.
Like from me to you, that was an easy hop. That was from me to, it was Pirate and Resi, and then from them right to you. And so that was a nice easy hop. But I know that there are people that I see now in your streams that crop in on your streams that are like so far adjacent that I'm like, how did you end up here? Like, what path of who did you take to end up over here at a Bell stream? I have seen people in different places, and it's like it's interesting to watch the collisions, and you just kind of like that's impressive. It's always fun.
There's someone I follow. I can't remember who it is. I know they're Swedish, and there's Becky Lane who I follow, and the other, I can't remember the name of the other person, but I followed them longer than I'd followed Becky, and I can't for the life of me remember his name right now. But I had his stream tabbed, and I was in Becky's stream,
Right.
and she was like, right, now we're going to go and raid our friend, the other person. And I'm like, how? What?
Wait, what?
Like, how do you know that person that I have tabbed on my other monitor?
Well, I usually, my usual response to these are like, oh, thank you for collapsing my tabs down so I don't have to have. I don't know about you, but I have like 30 tabs open some days.
Baker's always telling me off for having too many tabs open. But it's like if I have like Vibes or back in the day Peeps and Res and Lotus and whatever, if I have them tabbed and one of them raids me and I'm like, well, now I've got to go close myself.
Yeah. I hate listening to myself in my own ears. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah, I know some streamers have it so that they can hear their microphone.
Yep.
Like, and it's like, I don't know how I couldn't do it. It'd really throw me off just hearing that like millisecond delay of my voice. No, I can't. I'll turn it on to do like volume level checks and whatnot,
And even that, I'll start like testing 1, 2, 1, 2, and by about that time, I get the testing 1, 2, and I'm out of rhythm. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done now.
I'm done. It wasn't too loud. That's fine. We're good. Moving on. I hate the sound of my own voice.
It's really winding me up what the name of that other streamer was. I'm just sat scrolling through my follow list like, where are you? I'm sure there's a H in your name.
Oh, good God. Yeah, I'm sure there's a H in your name. Do you know how many H? I mean, just letters of the alphabet. Now, interesting enough, and I guess fortunately enough for you, your name is unique enough that you don't have to have a number in it.
Yeah. Even in like Discord, I was like Drinkabell1. You know, when they added the whole numbers at the end thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating. The originator, right?
Yeah, there is a company, I think. If you Google Drinkabell, there is, but they spell it differently. It's like drinker as in someone who drinks, not drinker as in tinker.
Right. Yeah, it's like drink dash a something like that.
Yeah, and I think they sell those like covers you can get for your drinks, you know, if you're like out in a pub or something. But that's the closest thing to Drinkabell that I've found.
Nice. I avoid Googling anything to do with myself.
I only know about it because I think it was either my mum or my mum's partner Googled me for some reason. And then they said about it. But typically I wouldn't Google myself.
Yeah, I don't know how I would handle that. Of course, now you said that, and I'm like, okay, I had to go pull this up, and so I just went and hit Google, and apparently I'm on TikTok. The heck am I on TikTok?
Is there an imposter Nori?
I have no idea. Apparently they've been posting a bunch of stuff though, because got like 92 posts up there.
92 posts, yeah. I've just pulled them up.
It's like, what the, huh?
It looks like they just share other people's. It doesn't look like they've got their own sort of content.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
It's weird. Whatever.
Did no one tell them there's only one Nori?
I don't think this world wants any more than that. It's fine. It's fine. It's just most people just look at my name and I always end up with a Nori thumb, and so I have a thumb always in my name. And I'm like, no. The UM was the UM. I intentionally misspelt it wrong because to spell it correctly was already taken. And the name comes from I started playing EverQuest, and the name is just a pun on No Rhythm, which was a bard in the game, and so he couldn't dance or sing or carry a tune. And I have been.
We used to play D&D,
right?
And the bard of our group was a tiefling bard called Hjorndorg.
It is very unfortunate for a bard, Rosie. It is very unfortunate for a bard. He just ran around beating on his drum. That's it. I can beat on the drum really well. He would just run around everywhere beating on a drum, and he would beat it out of rhythm. And we used that as a debuff on all the bad guys we fought.
Just to piss them off.
Yeah. Good times. Always kind of fun.
That's the thing with games like that. You've got to just have fun with them, haven't you?
Well, I think as long as you're making something, as long as you make something up, then you can drive a story and a narrative. And if you can drive a story and a narrative, you can keep it interesting, right? Whether you do that for yourself or you do that for somebody else, Like when I first started streaming, I streamed Minecraft, and Minecraft is a fairly boring game unless you drive a story and a narrative, which is all a plot-driven device that you come up with on your own, and then it can be interesting.
I was the dungeon master for our D&D games,
Oh,
so I spent a lot of time coming up with things like that.
Okay, so as a fellow DM, I can tell you that this community is full of dungeon masters.
I stand by the statement that DMs are some of the most sadistic people.
We are. I also stand by the statement that a good DM lets your players be stupid.
Oh yeah, 100%. We like if you're not being stupid, then we had there was one where they were tracking a group of thugs to try and get some information.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bard was following one of these thugs, and the thug went to a brothel. So he waits. I promise this is yeah. So he waits for the guy to come out, and he goes to the person in the brothel that guy had been to see if he can get any information from that person, whether the thug had said anything to them. So he goes in and they say to him, "Oh, what do you want?" And he goes, "Oh, I'll have what the last guy had." So I saw my chance. So I said, "Okay, you sit down, you lay on the bed." She crouches over you and goes,
I mean, you asked for it.
He said whatever the last guy had, he gave me a chance. What was I supposed to do?
I'd take it and run with it. I would have done the same thing. Like, okay.
I also came up with the bard really wanted a deck of many things.
Oh.
And so they were going down this like narrow track through some like big cliffs either side. And a merchant comes down the other way. And they obviously ask the merchant what he has to sell. The merchant has a bit of an accent to him. So he says, and the bard says, "Oh, have you got a deck of many things?" And the merchant went, "Yeah, I have a deck of many things. I sell you for 10 gold. And the bard's like, "Yes, I'll have it. That's mine." And then another one in the party was like, "Wait, 10 gold? No, this doesn't seem right." And the bard's like, "No, I don't care. I want this deck of many things. I'm having it." He buys it. And the merchant passes him over something that looks kind of like a dildo. It was not a deck of many things. And I came up with like a table of all stupid effects for it. So if you wanted to use it, you had to roll a D8 or a D10 or something. And whatever you rolled was the effect that happened. So it had things like a money shot. It had a shield that had put a rubber shield around the target that you aimed it at. It had, what else did it have? Oh, it could make terrain in front of it in a 10-foot cone or something, slippery terrain. And like to this day, it's the proudest thing I've ever done in D&D.
Oh, that's fantastic. See, I had almost a similar situation with a deck of many things. Only in my case, the purveyors of the item in question were the gods of comedy, as they were named, and they drove around in a broken down Winnebago. And so they sold the players because they're like, "We want a deck of many things." Sure thing. And so they sold them this pouch that had the deck of many things in it. And so when they opened the pouch up to dump out the contents to get the deck out of it, out fell out nails and planks and woods of all kinds of varieties of all kinds of things. And the final thing that came out was an instruction set on how to assemble your deck of many things. We were
we
dutifully
did Baker
irritated.
DM'd once. Baker DM'd once, and he came up with there was a toilet that was a mimic. And it chased us all around this map, this toilet mimic with teeth and everything. You're picturing it in your mind now, I can tell.
Well, but okay, let's be fair. We wouldn't be good DMs if you couldn't realize an image into your players' heads and just scar them for life.
Yeah.
I fully believe any D&D campaign should have moments where you scar your players for life. Like it's got to be an image that gets seared into their brain, and they're just like, no, I don't. Oh no, that's permanent residence in my head.
We had there's one time when my brother was DMing, and I was playing a hobgoblin called Gobshite.
Right.
And and we'd killed a baby dragon and turned we turned its ball sack into a book bag for the wizard, and its shaft into a quiver for my arrows, because I had a bow, you know. And one of the characters died, so we decided we were going to try and bring them back to life. And we took them to this chapel, and in order to bring them back to life, we had to sacrifice something of great value to us by placing it on the dead character's chest. So naturally, we sacrificed the ball book bags and the dragon shaft arrow quiver. And the person whose character this was as well was he was quite a serious person. He was a min-maxer, still is to this day. He's a min-maxer, and he's very serious, and he's not particularly a jokey sort of person. And his character was just lay there with the book bag and the quiver on his chest, and his face was a picture.
Oh, that's fantastic. That just hit so well. He deserved
D&D,
it.
though, is just doing whatever you want, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, there was the one adventure where we were playing this world where you could be a rock golem, and one of the player characters decided that they were going to pole vault over top of the cart and belly flop on top of a lizard man. So he made his strength check, and so this 28-ton rock golem leaped over top of it and belly flopped. He got up and had to brush off the smear off his chest. It was about all that was left. Like trying to figure out damage for that, I'm like, I have to invent a math formula just to compute the damage. And you know what? He's dead. When the maths are too hard to figure out, you're like, nah. You're dead. It's fine. It's fine. We're not even gonna try and figure out.
We were doing a fight on a ship, and the bard decided he was going to sneak on the ship and stand on top of like the railing on the top deck, you know, like where the wheel is for the ship, and whether he was going to stand on the railing and distract everyone by playing a tune. He rolled a nat 1 to balance on the beam and just face planted on the top deck. I mean, he distracted them, just not quite in the way he meant.
Wait, I got you covered. Splat. Right. I meant to. See, that's when if you were the bard playing that, that's where you have to follow that up with leap immediately to my feet and go, haha, I meant to do that.
This was all part of my plan.
Oh, it was a good time.
D&D. I just don't have the time to DM anymore, or even really play anymore.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, right? Is just time gets away from us. It is.
Yeah, we started off playing in person, and then over like COVID, we used Fantasy Grounds,
Hmm.
which is I really like Fantasy Grounds. But like I say, the group sort of fell apart, and then time just don't have the time.
It's fascinating. Yeah, what was it? Last time I ran a campaign. It was at the beginning of COVID. It was the last time I ran a campaign, and I haven't. We played for about 3 months. It was a very short campaign. It was an introductory campaign to teach some people who've never done D&D before how to play D&D. I'm like, okay, we'll do an introductory. It's fine. We'll keep the combat to minimum. You don't have to do a whole lot. We'll just do a bunch of storytelling. And so that was basically their introductory to D&D. And I'm like, we'll make this nice and easy. That's fine. It was a good time. There were moments of pure hysteria where they decided that they were going to. One character had it in his head that he was going to have relations with another the entire time. And the other one was not opposed to it, but was playing really coy with him about it. And so I decided that, well, that's fine. You guys can do that, but I'm going to make this as difficult as I possibly can for you. So every time they ended up in compromising positions, they were always separated. So it was always one was in the position the other one could take advantage of. Oh, but wait, they were separated. So they literally spent the entire campaign chasing after each other, trying to find these moments where it was like that. And it just never worked out the entire time. It was just freaking hysterical. Like the druid fell into a pool of questionable liquid, and came out, and their clothes were melting off in them. Meanwhile, the other dwarf who's interested was off in another hall exploring, and heard this, and turned around like, my chance, and the door that he had just came through was now gone.
As if by magic.
Well, they had invaded a wizard's castle, so I mean,
It makes
I took
sense,
a lot of liberties here. He started to break down. He took out his pickaxe and literally started to chink at the wall to break through it. I went to Villains Anonymous.
Yeah, Baker's character was a bit on the evil, had evil tendencies. He was chaotic evil. And obviously the party sort of had a few problems with this and whatever, so Baker's character ended up going to Villains Anonymous. And he'd have to do a roll to see whether, he was staying good or straying off a bit to the evil side again. Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I still have my coin. Look, 6 weeks without villainy.
His character had such a long title in the end. It was like Zeno the ex-syphilitic phantom pooper.
Wow. Oh, that's a name.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an impressive name.
Well, he decided to sleep with a rather questionable barmaid, which is where the syphilitic part comes from. He cured that, so then it became ex-syphilitic. And then there were some kids that were bullying another kid in this village that they went to. And trying to be relatively good, he decided to go and poop in the bully kids' bedroom on their bed whilst they were asleep because,
I was going to kill the kids.
Oh, he was going to kill the kids. He was going to kill the kids, but he got caught by his teammates, so he decided to shit on the bed instead. So that's where the phantom pooper comes. So yeah, Zeno the ex-syphilitic phantom pooper.
Well, it's a name that will live on in infamy.
There are worse names to have. He could still be the syphilitic phantom pooper.
It's anything's possible in these days and age. This has been fantastic. Well, we are down to our last few moments here, so we do have some traditions. The the first one is, we got a couple more questions to finish out. We're going to be going over, so I'm not even worried about it. I hope it's okay that we go over a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just having a blast. So
Me too.
So the first, we have 2 follow-up questions, and then you have a decision to make, and that is all according to the way we do things here on Talk Tuesday. So the first thing is, and we've already briefly touched on that one anyways earlier on, which was any big sort of things that you have coming up, but more so, is there anything that you want to like call attention to, like any big events, any big major plans for the rest of this year?
Well, I'm hoping that at some point this year I'll hit my 1,000 followers. I'm on 700 and something. So
Wow.
I'll do something for 1,000 followers when we hit that. When we get a bit closer, I'll make, plans. We'll do something spectacular. I'll probably end up eating Brussels sprouts or something stupid. Let chat torture me for a stream,
Right.
So hopefully we can hit that. Like I say, I'm on 700 and something. So hopefully by the end of the year,
Nice.
we might make it to 1,000.
I remember when you were sub 400.
Yeah. Feels ages ago, but it's not. Like, it was really weird because I feel like it took me longer to get from 400. Well, no, it felt like it took longer to get from like 490 to 500 than it did to get from 300 to 400.
Yep.
It just felt like it took so long. But I think
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
that-
watching it because I was doing something special for the 500. So I was paying more attention to it than you would usually.
Yes. And the climb past 500 just feels like it's like this ugly plateau, and it's like trying to get past that 500. It's just, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But on
No.
for events this Saturday, normally at 8 p.m. GMT, it will be my clip reel for this month.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll have all the highlights of this month on it with lots of stupid deaths and it'll just be stupid.
It's just general. It's general Bell relativity. It's
Yeah.
but it's all good fun, right? I enjoy the clip reels. I think they're fantastic. Sometimes I don't get to catch them when you're doing them live, but I still go back and watch the VODs. It's always good fun.
I do put them on my YouTube as well. If you missed the VOD, they're on my YouTube.
Yeah,
All of them,
the
if you
links
wanna
right
go
below
back.
her picture. It's I got all your socials in there. I got it.
I think the only one that's missing is my 2-year anniversary clip reel. That one's not on there because it wouldn't export from DaVinci for some reason, but everything else is on there. The 1-year anniversary and everything else, they're all on there.
Wow.
So it's crazy
It's
actually
fantastic.
looking back at some of the old ones and thinking, wow, how much has my stream changed?
Right? Just in just months, and how quickly things change. Like I look back occasionally on these Talk Tuesdays, and just in the period of time that we've run Talk Tuesdays, it very quickly ramped up into a very different format over and over and over again until we got to where we're at right now.
Well, that's what
and
I
it's
did. Like
just-
the first year of my streams, you could see things were constantly changing as I was trying to sort of find my sort of groove. The last year, hardly anything's changed, like design wise on my stream. Like
Right.
the backgrounds, the camera box, everything's pretty much, I found
You
my
found
sort of style.
That's right. You found what is essentially Bell, and it's a fantastic. I enjoy your streams. I watch as many as I can. I lurk all of them. But they're fantastic. It's always fun to watch you go at it, especially the horrors. You make such lovely little noises, and most of the time, I am not very successful at catching you, but I am very successful at putting the sound effects in just the right places. Like I'm not gonna. I don't ever startle Bell, but I do make Bell laugh at.
That's
I'm
one of the
fine.
main things.
I'm fine with that. We're all laughing. It's good. It's good fun stuff. I do have an act for Resi. I catch her all the time with the freaking troll. It's just like, it's fine. I summon up my troll brethren. It's okay. That's what I do.
Vibes always gets me when I'm playing LC with the turret sound. I'll just be like about to run around a corner or something, and he'll play the turret sound, and I'll be like, ah, no, that's not real.
Oh, those turrets! I have gotten shot more times than I care to count on those turrets. And then I watch other people are like, "What turret? No problem," and they dance around the stupid. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. If I ever try anything like that, like I've watched one just like run circles around the turret and just like that. Yeah, it's peace. I'm like, no, I'll get shot. Can't do it.
One where my rave command. I think it was Vibes had done the rave, so I was just vibing along with the music as I was running up to the main entrance. Walked through the main entrance, didn't hear the turret down the corridor to one side. And I was too busy dancing and vibing away to notice the laser beam point at my head. And right as it cut out, I died. I got shot, and it was like, oh, well, that's me done for this round.
Yep. And this is where I take 5 minutes, and we'll see you when we come back.
To be fair, though, you don't mind
Yes.
dying in LC because you get to watch everyone else suffer.
Oh yeah. It's so much. Well, and you can keep up with what all is going on. I think the popping around and being able to just watch what everybody's doing is so much more fun. Though, if you add that mod that lets you spectate the monsters, that too is a lot of fun. That is a good time because you can pop in behind the monsters and watch them. Like I especially like just sitting over top of loot bugs because they just kind of run around. Yippee!
I like if you watch the face huggers, the centipede thingies.
Oh yes.
And you can see someone coming down the corridor, and you're like, oh yeah, go on, boom.
Yep. Absolutely fantastically fun time, right? There are a lot of good games like that are. I want to get into do some more content warning because we had such a fun time with that, especially if you take it to that degree where you actually try and treat it as you would like YouTube content or whatnot. It's so much fun when you do that.
Just the physics as well in content warning, just like the ragdoll physics.
Oh yeah. Just I like the mic, the microphone on the stick, the boom mic. I'll get that and just start stabbing bugs with it. We like the word from you, thump thump. It's all you hear is this thump 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 on the microphone as I'm just stabbing something.
I like to get people trapped in the ship door. If you shut it just as they're coming in and it leaves their legs outside but the body inside.
Yeah, we had that happen to us on accident with I think it was Zoda. We were like, oh, open the door, and you open the door up and it's too late. He's already been like smashed into the door frame. There's like no getting him in. It's just stuck.
We've had it before. We've shut the door on the snail creature, and it came back to like the main thing with us. It was only one person could see it. I can't remember who it was. It had bugged for someone, but they could just see it in the main area, like back where you return to the house.
No kidding.
It couldn't kill them or move or anything. It was just there.
It was just wow. Oh, that would have been fantastic. I'm like, oh, you should be streaming this so we can capture this. That's fantastic. And our final question: if you had to go back and give either advice to yourself or to somebody else who's just starting up streaming, and tell them a piece of advice or something that you would have said, like, if I had just known this back when I was just getting started, would have made my life so much easier. What would that piece of advice would you give to either like a younger you or somebody starting up?
I think we touched on this a bit before, but you've got to stream for yourself. You can't make everybody happy. There's going to be people out there who don't like things about your stream. There's going to be people out there who don't like you. As long as you're happy doing what you're doing, creating content that you enjoy doing, if you've got, if you've only got 2 or 3 people in, whatever, as long as you're enjoying yourself, it doesn't matter how many people are watching.
There you go.
Just be you.
Just be you. That's solid advice. That's again, if you're not enjoying it, then can you? I mean, unless that's the content you're going for, is, you know, I want miserable content. Be miserable in what you're doing. But I don't know very many people who watch somebody just to be miserable, you know.
Yeah. It's not an enjoyable experience. So
No.
why can you expect someone to enjoy watching it if you're not enjoying doing it?
And it shows. I think if you make the assumption that, well, it doesn't matter what I do, chat's not really going to care, I think you would be in error on that too, because chat cares an awful lot about what goes on and what they're watching.
Mm.
So yeah,
So
very
I
solid
have days where chat's on the quiet end, and you know, people have lives, people lurk, whatever, you know. Just get on with your game as long as you're having fun playing the game, you know.
Yep.
Just chat shit to yourself if you have to.
Absolutely. I'm done fighting with this thing.
I think that's one of the harder things to do when you start streaming, is to get used to that constant monologue. Obviously, you see a lot of streamers that they've got no one chatting in chat, so they're not talking. And that doesn't really, you know,
that doesn't
encourage
translate
chat.
out. No, it really doesn't. You have to get into that habit of pattering, even if there's nobody there. I tend to talk to chat as if there is somebody there asking me whatever random thought is coming out of my head.
Yeah. Or you can just sort of say, oh, like, you know, if you're walking around doing something, like, oh, where's this, or I'm doing this because, or, you know, just constant monologue of what's going on.
Yeah, you just chatter like you're talking to somebody, because for all you know, you are talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And if you're not, well, then nobody really likes. I'm a viewer as much as I am a streamer. I probably, that's wrong. I'm probably more of a viewer than I am a streamer. And I don't like listening to somebody who's not talking. I don't pop in, talk to the voices in your head. I do that an awful lot. I just get concerned when they start answering back, Rez.
But I think that's one of the hardest things to get used to when you start streaming, is to just talk.
Just talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But once you get used to it, you know, it just becomes second nature. Right. Like I find when I'm streaming and when I'm like on camera, I become a lot more sort of like an animated person. Like as I've been talking, you know, I'll be moving my hands like this, or, you know, I'm much more sort of animated than I would be if I was just talking in a general conversation as well.
Right.
Like you wouldn't necessarily stand there talking to someone face to face and be like waving your arms around, and
you'd be surprised. I know there's a neighbor down the road, Italian people, and if you tie their hands together, they can't talk. It's the craziest. It's actually funny. I will. They'll be talking da 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 da, and I'll just walk up and grab both their hands and start shaking it and hold onto their hand, and they just shut up. They just like can't talk.
Can't talk. My hands are tied.
Yeah, just grab a hold of their hands so they can't move them around, can't wiggle them, and their brain short circuits and just dies.
Definitely easy kidnapping. You don't, you know, just tie their hands.
Don't even need to gag them. I'll just take that. Yeah. Thank you. There are people like that. It's rather fascinating. It's so much fun. And usually after a few minutes of just holding their hands, shaking their hands and whatnot, and they're unable to talk, you let go. And they're like, why do you do that to me? I need these to communicate. I'm like, your hands don't make noise. I'm sorry. It's just good. I'm not telling anybody to go out and do this, mind you. Don't go grab your nearest Italian who's talking with their hands and be like, Nori said to do this. You're likely to get clocked.
Now, if you're holding their hands, they can't punch you.
Just be ready to duck. Jesse! Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. I have had a lovely time this evening, and I appreciate your time this evening. This has been so much fun. Last bit of business for you. Last thing, and then we'll let you get out of here and retire to an early, actually probably really late for you, so get some good night sleeps in.
Yeah, it's just gone midnight here.
Yeah. we send a raid out at the end of every Talk Tuesday to the guest selection. So you get to pick where we send this fancy cast of crews and characters out so that we can go tell them all about the fantastic and fabulous Drinkabell, who we got to learn all about and make them jealous.
In which case, since we've been talking a lot about it, we could go and raid Mutz, who is playing some Lethal Company right now.
Absolutely.
Mutz05.
Just stick their name in the chat and we will go make that happen. I find that's easier because I can just copy and paste out the chat. Yeah. I'm like, how do I want to handle this? And I finally just like, nope, just stick it in chat because I actually have a raid command that will put up all the emotes and everything else and then send us on our merry way. All right. Well, I am going to deafen and do the closeout. So you are welcome to stick around if you want to chat some more for a little bit, or if you need to bail and take off, by absolutely feel free to take on off. It has been a lovely evening spent with you, and I appreciate this. It's been
thank
fantastic.
You for having me, and
fabulous.
thank you to everyone for the questions.
You have been an amazing guest. For all of you who don't know, this is the one and only the fabulous Miss Drinkabell. And since this is another thing we've started doing here at the very end. Come back up here. So I don't usually use the Twitch shoutouts because they drive me a little nuts because it's not as fanfare-y, right? But the one thing that the Twitch shoutouts does do, which is a really nice thing, is it puts the little heart up there in the chat. And if you haven't clicked it, it's not lit up. If it's not telling you that you are following this fabulous, gorgeous creature of a lady that is here on the screen in front of you, then you, my friends, are making a dreadful mistake. I'm telling you flattery. What. Absolute dreadful mistake. It has been lovely. It has been a highlight of my week. Thank you, Belle.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go and do the closeout. We will catch up with you. If I don't see you after this, I will catch up with you in one of your streams. I can guarantee it.
No problem.
All right. Let's see if I can find all the buttons. You've got a Stream Deck. I've got a cell phone. Is what I use. I'm a little cheap.
I couldn't live without my Stream Deck now. It was one of the first things I got, I think, with Twitch payout, and I couldn't. If it broke today, I'd order a new one for next day delivery tomorrow.
Well, I may have to look into getting one of those then. Say Bell put me up to it. I'll just put it on the expense report.
If you do get one, I'd recommend the 15 button one though. There's no point going for the bigger one.
There isn't?
You can create folders on it. So I've got like a scenes folder, which has then got all the scenes in it, and I've got an email.
Yeah, so you just set yourself up categories, and then you just pop in and out of the yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so there's not really much of a need for anything bigger than that.
Not really.
You
can have
multiple. Get lost.
You can have like multiple like views as well. So if you fill up 15 buttons or 14 buttons, your 15th button will be an arrow to like another page. Right. You can add another 15. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So there's never you're never running out of room then.
Yeah. There's no point getting anything bigger than the 15.
All right. Well, let's go get this raid over to Mutt, and thank you. Here's the Deafen, and there's the end scene. Oh, you fantastic people. You have made it all the way to the end. You guys are lovely, gorgeous, amazing, fantastic. And we've gotten a chance to listen to and meet and get to know even better a fantastic and wonderful, lovely Drinkabell. If you're new here on Talk Tuesday, every Tuesday, we do an interview with another fantastic streamer. This week has been absolutely amazing, and it's been nothing short of just wonderful. We've had a grand and gorgeous time with Miss Drinkabell. We are going to send a raid out to Mutt05. Yes, Mutz05 for her request. When we get over there, spam all of the raid messages and everything else. And then while we're at it, let's tell them about Talk Tuesday and all of the amazing things that we have learned today about Miss Drinkabell, this fantastic lady. If you don't go catch any of her streams, then you are missing out, and it will be a sad day indeed for you. I will be there, and I hope to catch each and every one of you guys in the next Drinkabell stream. Until then, here is the raid message. So we're going to go raid Mutz05. So The first one is for all you lovely subscribers. And the second message is for all you lovely followers. Whichever one you can use, grab it, copy it, paste it. Get ready to spam it when we get over there. Let's go tell Mutz05 all about Talk Tuesday and Miss Drinkabell and send him over here to watch and learn a little bit about drink, since he couldn't be here live to see it in person. Oh, that's fabulous. Pie to the face. Absolutely amazing. And until next time, continue to be the fantastic, fabulous, and amazing people that I already know you are. And until next time, you know how this goes. Bye for now.